back to another episode of Lost Lieutenant. I am your host, and I am joined by Tristan.
Hello.
Nick.
Hello.
Jordan.
Walkers.
And special guest and guy who's ripped us off on YouTube, Dante.
Let's go!
Well-known content thief, Dante.
Yeah,
1,000
exactly.
subscriber special appearing on better content. Starts today.
And today we are going to...
Jacob, what's your name?
I said, I'm Jacob.
You
No,
said
you
you said I'm your host tonight, and I'm
the host.
Tristan.
I am the host, Jacob.
Is he wrong?
I could have said anything. I could have been anyone.
It's true.
And for this night's episode, we will be pimping your list that you have sent in to us for BCB. So Burn City Brawl. That's going to be happening on the 13th or 14th of September. Oh yeah, I got it right.
Hello.
Here in Melbourne at the Gaming Arena, Coburg North in Victoria. Tickets still available, $80. It's a 5-mission tournament with Hammer of Dawn, which is a custom mission made by Jordan Truly. B-Pong, Evacuation, Firefight, Capture and Protect.
Also known as the Get Fucked mission lineup.
Yeah, it's almost like one of the ideas I wanted to do for a while with just friends, which is make a really hard mission and do like the when the classifieds used to have red ones. But Tristan and the BCB crew decided, fuck it, biggest tournament in Melbourne, we're going to do it for everybody.
I won't place the blame on anyone else. It's entirely on me. If you want to hear an hour and a half about the logic of the missions, you can head over to Dante's channel at Infinity the Dante on YouTube, and you'll hear myself and Peter talk about how fun it is to make a hard mission lineup when you don't have to play it.
Was it just that you want to subject the Infinity community to CBT?
Orvis Belly Time. My favorite Infinity time.
Part of it's also not moving objectives around, if I recall correctly.
Well, I was really keen on evac in third, and Peter wanted to swap it with firefight. Firefight in third meant you wouldn't have to change the objectives, but evac in third means you do.
I mean, look, they're all good. They're all good missions scattered into like a standard tournament.
Don't let
all
Ivory
together.
hear that.
All together, it's a rough tournament.
It's gonna be
so
interesting.
before we get into it, just a quick thank you to all the listeners and our community sent in their lists to be pimped. It's a pretty big thing, especially going into a tournament. If you're going to take these lists, you're sort of broadcasting out any sort of secrets that you had for the sake of giving us content to make. So thank you very much to those who participated.
All right, Nick,
And,
tell us a little
Speaking of
bit
submissions,
about.
So Infinity Gamer is running a mission competition, looking to build up a community library of custom missions to hopefully spice up some tournaments. Submissions can be sent to the Infinity, or submission information is on the Infinity Gamers YouTube channel. Link will be in the description. The plan for the trial by fire for these is, I believe, a 5 custom mission tournament coming up in, I want to say November. I could be wrong. In New Zealand.
New Zealand, okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
We got to book our
fancy
tickets.
vacation? Yeah.
I was gonna say. I mean, that's more achievable than going to like Interplanetaria.
Yeah.
More achievable than going to Perth.
It's closer.
I think it's a short
It's
flight,
quicker,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's way quicker. All right.
So they're like 4.
Oh.
So like 4 hours.
All right. So this part 1 of Pimp My List, we've got Jacob. For part 2, we'll have on Josh. So we are gonna have a little bit of Jacob to start off with.
Yeah. So I of course got Frank's Bakunin lists. Played Frank before. He murders his Bakunin around the board pretty well. So for his first original list, it is a harass of a penitent BS continuous attack AP Spitfire, orphaned engineer repeater, Cenobite, which is just the sort of heavy infantry melee guy, chain rifle, so the basic profile, 2 moderators with combi rifle, 1 being the lieutenant, so you've got sort of your lieutenant and your decoy. A 0 forward observer, a reaction zond with the +1 burst thunderbolt, a rounder with the hacking upgrade Trinity, a Morlock, and then group 2, we've got a Cenobite, Reverend Healer, which is just sort of like the basic medic if you don't have the points for bearer, really. Reverend Custodia, Killer Hacking Device, a Scene Eater, Uhahu, and Denver Connolly.
And that second Cenobite is the HRL.
Yes, sorry, thank you. It is the HRL. So we've got essentially a core with the Penitent and the 2 after it, and the Cenobite with the heavy rocket launcher in a harass core, whatever you want to call it. Because I think it'd be a harass with the Penitent and a core with the Cenobite.
They're both 3-man teams.
Launcher, yeah. So yeah, a good list. I can never fight against that Penitent Orphan Cenobite combo. It's got a really nasty gun on it, shoots pretty well. It's got mimetism. The other half of it with the Cenobite up to as ARO is pretty good. The heavy rocket launcher is like a high consequence weapon with so long as you haven't frenzied, you've got cover, you've got mimetism, -6 all over that. So I didn't change anything in the first group as far as the harass is concerned. It's still just the Penitent, Orphan, and the Cenobite. It just works too well. Same with the moderators. They're sort of Bakunin standard to have 2 moderators, separate them on your deployment zone. Which one's my lieutenant? Hopefully you don't gun them both down. What I did do, however, is I replaced the rounder hacking device Trinity with a 0 killer hacker, trying to give a little bit more mid-board specialists. Also, they've also got the same stats as far as whip, I think BTS, but you get the camouflage with camouflage with mines, and you get surprise attack for the hacking. So if you it's sort of tilting a bit more to like the offensive hacking, and then a reaction zond. What I did also do is split Denma up into 2 Morlocks to try and spread out the smoke love. Because the efficiency that you can get from being able to go and do an impetuous order and then throw a smoke and then use that irregular order either to move the Morlock up to do something else, or to have another attempt at throwing the smoke, I think it's a little bit better than just having Denma in one spot. I know Denma's great. The other thing is, having played a couple of these missions, Morlocks with like a suitable cover on them can be really difficult to get off of objectives that you have to hold. So I think Hammer of Dawn's consoles, as well as B-Pong, the Morlocks can just be run up, especially if you get like the meta chemistry to make them fast, run up, hold objectives, they stay there for the entire game, chucking smoke maybe when you need them to. On the other team, I've got the Cenobite heavy rocket launcher still. I still got the Reverend Healer. I understand why he's gone for the Reverend Healer. Wabera is a couple more points. She's not terrible, but she's not the powerhouse that she used to be in 4. She lost in Nowhere in Cap and all that sort of stuff. I've put a Reverend Custodia Killer Hacker and a Reverend Custodia Hacking Device Plus. So we haven't lost the ability with Uhahu to put down pitches as well. To put down white noise. But what we've done is given that entire team +1 BS, which is great for the Cenobite. BS 13 with mimetism is awesome. The pitches are going to go down a little bit better because the Custodians went down a BS. They used to be 13, they're now 12. I've also replaced the Sin Eater HMG with the Sniper Rifle Marksman. That's a bit personal preference. It might sort of depend on how you want to put them. The Sin Eater Marksman means you can put them in a really annoying position that only like the longest range weapons can deal with. So people have to walk around him. Whereas, but I can understand the HMG, you get 4 dice instead of 2. So it's personal preference. The same SWG, SWC. Actually, the Sin Eater's one half more, but you can there's enough SWG left in this list to go back and forth between the two. And then we got the other Morlock, both of the Morlocks being the ECM CC weapons because there's no better profile for them.
Interesting.
That's it. Pimped.
Yeah, it's a good trade-off. I can see why they would want to go for Uhahu to get a second set of pictures in there. Because there's no baggage to reload them that I see. I could be wrong. But putting the Reverend KHD in there, now you have half the pictures, but you're landing them more readily, and your gun now is +1 BS.
Yeah, the problem with Uhahu, unfortunately, she's BS 11, so her pictures can be a little dicey.
Mm-hmm.
And then what missions is this list made for?
Every mission.
He kind of said every mission, so hence why I was trying to put a little bit more midfield stuff there, because this Bakunin is great. This mission lineup does unfortunately highlight their weakness, which is a lot of their specialists are slowish. I have some lists that feel un-Bakunin-like, but sort of compensate for that.
Did you consider taking Bran or Fiddler?
This was in keeping with the list. Both Bran and Fiddler are quite expensive. At that point, I'd probably have to look at a moderator Riot Girl, defensive core with the missile launcher to fit Bran or Fiddler in. I like Fiddler for Bakunin in this mission lineup because she's 6'4". Her little robots can hold objectives while she stays in relative safety. And Engineer is nice. So yeah, she's good. Bran is interesting in the fact that I would now never over infiltrate him because the super jump makes him so fucking fast. He's 8'2" with super jump. But yeah, to do that, I would say the Cenobite. Group 2 would have to change. Probably would put Uhahu back in. And that moderator, those 2 moderators might actually become the star of a reaction core.
Yeah, I mean, you could try and maybe drop maybe the reaction zone. You've got 2 very good ARO pieces, or maybe you drop the 0 killer hacker to upgrade the FO. But yeah, I think at that point you're looking at a much bigger systematic change than what you've done, which is some pretty nice little tweaks to get that engine purring a bit more.
And again, this mission lineup favors being able to sort of spread out your specialists. If you condensing the 0 to the tri-0 Bran is it's an issue. It's something to deal with.
This mission lineup really rewards having the 0 FO as well.
Yeah, it does.
Almost mandatory for Bakunin, to be honest.
It feels pretty close to mandatory.
Yeah, I wouldn't go without it.
Especially if you want to flex lists into multiple missions like Frank wants to do. You kind of need to just bite the bullet and play some of those more niche profiles that don't cost a whole bunch of points, which is why I'd be hesitant to try and fit Fiddler into a list like this, where she costs so many points and is such a commitment that it really can take away from the rest of the list.
Yeah. Fiddler's really nice for B-Pong and some parts of Hammer of Dawn and things like that. But if you're going for firefight and stuff, she just doesn't really fit into that.
I mean, she's pretty good. She goes well in evac. She goes well in capture and protect. You could look at something like a pure Riot Girl duo Maybe you maybe make that penitent a longer range weapon. Take a Riot Girl, Spitfire, and Fiddler, and do some jumping strangeness. But yeah, again, that's going a bit further than
It's
The
moving
other thing
beyond
is-
what the list was trying to be at the beginning.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
the other thing is, I think Infinity and community as a whole is still pretty harsh on the Riot Girls when they gained Frenzy, and then obviously the Frenzy.
No, not gain Frenzy. Now actually have to play with Frenzy.
I
Well,
think,
that's what I
Have to
said.
play
And
by
the
the
Frenzy
rules.
nerves, yeah.
I think
Imagine having to play by the fucking rules.
the only thing I would really change is I think both Morlocks should be the assault pistol variant. Assault pistols are amazing, and I think I would change the reaction Zond for a Chimera. It gets you Eclipse, and they hold everything extremely well, and it's a massive buffer when people are trying to storm into your DZ. The reaction Zond is great if that engineer had a helper bot, but it doesn't, and that engineer wants to run up the board slightly, I suppose. But it's not going to be staying back to heal up that Zond bot, so it kind of feels pointless to me when you already have the Sin Eater and the MIM6 HRL as ARO pieces. I don't think the reaction Zond's doing much.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating to deal with in missions like Bpong, and they're so good in Capture and Protect as well, considering that mission doesn't give a shit what grabs the fucking beacon.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think I think it depends on the player experience, but I feel like with the Scene Eater, you're either going to get outranged if you've got the HMG, or you're going to get outdiced if you've got the sniper rifle.
We're talking about the reactions on.
No, well, yeah, but we were mentioning like the. I agree with the swap to reactions on to Tingo, but like if you wanted to try and find a couple of points, something to fit something else in, the Sin Eater, I think, is one of the things that could very much be changed into whatever the hell you want.
Yep, makes sense.
All right.
That's list 1.
List 2 for Firefight, Capture and Protect, and Evac.
Yeah. So he put a model in here that I think I want to see go hard, which is the GoBot. I was having a talk with another Infinity player that if the GoBot isn't the best of the vehicles, it's the second best.
GoPod.
Yeah. So Frank's group 1, in a style that I hate, is his smaller group with 2 moderators, a paramedic and a lieutenant moderator, and a riot girl, with a Zoe FTO, a rounder, hacking device with Trinity upgrade, and a GoPod. The second group is 2 Cenobites, one with a heavy rocket launcher, a Custodia hacking device plus, reactions on, vertigos on, Den McConnelly, and Initiate, I don't remember what their full name is, but with the camouflage profile with the deployable repeater, Zero, and a Chimera. So I've changed the first group a little bit to be a moderator, still the paramedic, the lieutenant, moderator lieutenant, and the riot girl. I should say the riot girl is a boarding shotgun with Tinbot. And I've also put the riot girl, the moderator hacker there. The reason I've done that is that you save points. I don't think you're going to go out and fight anything with the rounder as far as shooting goes, and as far as hacking goes, the moderator is same whip, same BTS. Also immune to shock if that ever comes up. I don't know if anyone has a Trinity shock. Understanding though that doesn't have Trinity at that point. And then the GoPod, because I'm assuming he wants a GoPod. I want to see the GoPod go hard.
Hell yeah.
All right, Cenobite. The 2 Cenobites and the Reverend Hacking Device Plus are still there. Again, I've added the hacking device, the Killer Hacking Device Plus. This is like a team that I've run and had a lot of success with. It allows you to sort of have someone make a choice. If you put out a picture and you're moving the entire unit, they might be like, oh, I'll go for your Hacking Device Plus, and you get a free brain explosion. They're doing it through firewalls and all that sort of thing. And I found Cenobites not Cenobites, Custodians are relatively tough. I probably just got lucky with them, in all honesty. Kept Denmar, kept the reaction and the Vertigozond, and kept the Chimera, but I've changed the Initiated. So the little experience I've had with the initiated is those deployable repeaters can be a pain because you can't quite get them where you want them to be, like a pitcher. They sort of have to be wherever the initiated can fit. And I've just had issues with people want to kill a hacker up to the repeater and just constantly be hacking at your hackers as they move. Right? They'll shoot off the initiated and kill it. What I've put there instead of the initiated is the meteor zond. The reason I've done this is because there's a couple of parts in this that you get to take advantage of border skirmishes. So you can come in anywhere on the line of the exclusion zones. But also I've just found that the meteor zond, and I've played Dante a lot using this meteor zond, comes in clutch. It's like, I need to drop it to do like an objective. It comes down and does it. I need an assassination piece. The meteor zond can do it because it's quick. It's got super jump.
Yeah.
But it's also a repeater. So you get, for the same amount of points, I think you get a more versatile repeater that's also a specialist, that's also like, it's got a boarding shotgun if you want, so it's a decent like firefighter. It's an all right like firing if you get the right angles. I just think it's more useful than the initiated.
It also can forward observe if you want to Hail Mary guided something.
Yeah.
Not quite a Hail Mary anymore.
It's also a sensor that drops anywhere you need it.
Yeah, that too.
And while that's not always...
I was just saying it's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, you drop it in, you rock in, you sensor, then your repeater zone, you spotlight, and you missile. It's pretty alright.
I cannot tell you how many times I've been playing Dante, and he's been playing something that can take the meteors on, not necessarily a Nomad faction, and he'll be like, "I need to complete my two classifieds, right? Meteor drops down, Ford observes a thing, hacker through the repeater does I don't know, something else." I'm like, "Great, cool, 3 orders and you're finished."
Can you find the 2 more points to make that an EM carbine meteor zond?
I just realized that I've got 6 points to spare.
Yes, you can. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yep, no, there are some very easy changes there.
I think the light shotgun EM carbine is going to be the better meteor zond.
Yeah.
It's not looking to firefight terribly well with a shotgun, regardless of flavor, but being able to drop down and hit someone in the back arc from outside of zone of control with an EM weapon can throw games.
Yeah.
I think from what I can tell from Frank's vision, if you're ditching the Zoe and Rounder in a core, I don't think there's much point to have the Riot Girl there anymore, because I think it's purely there for the tin bot.
Yeah, it's entirely there for the tin bot.
So you might be able to upgrade that to something else with the 4 points you have left. I don't know particularly what links with moderators, but 28 points, there must be something. Good luck.
I think there's a fair amount of like little additional bits of shuffling you can do to sort of shore up the bits and pieces basically in the list.
I do love double Cenobite, double Custodia. I think that's pretty much a Bakunin classic at this point.
Yeah. Not a horrible addition is you could get Riot Girl multi-rifle with Disco Bowler just for the 2 dice like long range smoke.
Absolutely.
And what missions was this one for again?
Most of them as well.
Firefight, capture and protect, and evac.
Yeah.
Oh, so capture and protect, that could be a pretty nice ad for the Disco Bowler.
Yeah.
Might have an issue with evac. Like what here is evacing your
zero
opponent?
Zero forward
zero.
observer.
Yeah,
I don't know. If that goes, you're kind of cooked. Or if there's I don't know. I think that's a very fragile game plan.
I think if you're looking to build for evac, then you do need to sort of eat your vegetables and play the second 0 FO probably, and you can then probably take the FO out of the other list, because then you're sort of like, this is just gonna go into evac, and the gear check you get with the Cenobites just feels really good. Like, I think if you are like looking to seriously compete at a tournament, you need to know how to deal with a Cenobite, and if you do not have the tools, you're just gonna have a bad time.
Yeah, no, that's a common little like list check is can you deal with a Cenobite? Yes, no, and if it's a no, something's got to change.
100%. Yeah, a really, really interesting second list. Honestly, I kind of like the different directions that you can go with this super.
All right. Good luck, Frank. Moving on to the first of some international submissions. Jordan.
Yeah. So this is RunsWithChickens Kestrel list. They submitted a couple of lists. For this, you're gonna see some very common through lines with the 4 Kestrel lists you're gonna see from me. I'm not going to apologize. is where we're going to lead off with that. So the first list was specifically for Hammer of Dawn and Capture to Protect. You could potentially flex for Firefight as well, just because Max is a bit of a fucking honey badger in that he isn't going to fucking care what your opponent is going to do to him most of the time. And this mission lineup specifically, especially with Hammer of Dawn, is about as friendly for Max as you're going to get. An overriding thing with any max list as well is deciding if you want to save the points and just play the tick-buying lieutenant instead. I think there's a lot of arguments either way. So the first list is Max Lieutenant with Griffin Feuerback, Fennec Hacker, Fennec FO, and a Fennec Paramedic. With the Magistrate, doing the core. It's a commitment. And then you have Magistrate Chain of Command into 2 Jackal FTOs. With light rocket launchers, Tech B, Beast Hunter, the Pano Beast Hunter specifically, Banshee KHD, Sierra Dronebot HMG, Machinist with Powerbot, Mulebot, Evo Hacking Device, and a Fugazi Dronebot. I like this list in the form of like as a max list, it's going to defend max really well. You have a lot of AR you get to stand up and tell your opponent no with. You have resilient AR. You're covering different like avenues of ARO as well. You have your MSV, you have your HMG. Your opponent isn't really able to punish easily. They need to have a variety of tools to sort of punish your deployment, whatever you end up deciding to do. But you're going to see very clearly when it goes to my Pimp that I have some things in Kestrel that I really won't. So first of all, in my sort of opinion, I think the time of the marksmanship HMG TR is kind of in the past. I think we've probably moved beyond that at this point. There's just a better place to sort of spend points in Swick nowadays, especially. And if you're not getting more than one use out of the Evo bot, I don't think just giving marksmanship to a TR bot is enough of a reason to play for. I don't know how you guys sort of feel about that, but
that died when you could no longer spend a command token to put the Evo bot program on the total reaction bots.
I guess you're saying that the Banshee is never going to be combat dropped. It's mostly starting on the table.
No, you just parachute it in.
Sure. So it's basic.
Yeah, parachute or border skirmishes.
In Hammer of Dawn, yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Because what helps Kestrel a lot, especially if you want to play a list like this in Firefight, is the Banshee's so load bearing as a specialist and can do so many classifieds that, and your opponent just cannot interact with it until you choose to let them interact with it. Like, if there is not a safe place to parachute in a Banshee on a table, that's a failure of table design. Like, and even if you have to drop it in your DZ or near your DZ, it moves 6/4 with super jump.
Yeah.
So my list is again Maximus Lieutenant, Magistrate Chain of Command with 2 Jackals. This time though, I have swapped it for 1 SMG Panzerfaust, 1 light rocket launcher. I like the variety you get there of playing inside 24 and 32 inches depending on what you want to do. And again, it doesn't change the points cost. Banshee KHD, the Tech B, Yamabushi Camouflage Chain Rifle Panzerfaust, the Beast Hunter, Pano Beast Hunter, 1 Jackal Infiltrating Mine Layer. Then in Group 2, we have Griffin Feuerback by Pandra, the non-tack aware version. The Fennec Mine Layer, which I can't believe is 14 points and not a Swick. The Fennec FO, Fennec Hacker, and the second Jackal Infiltrating Mine Layer. So something you can see in almost every Kestrel list I've built is that it's going to have one Yamabushi, it's going to have the Pano Beast Hunter, and it's going to have those two Infiltrating Jackal Mine Layers. The Jackal Mine Layers are so good. Like, they're very close to being, like, I would say almost as good as, like, Libertos were in N4. Like, dropping a mine in the midfield, the boarding pistols, they have the combination of boarding pistol and boarding shotgun. And then the reason why you separate them in between the two groups instead of having them in the same group to do silly coordinated order things is because they spend the last like 1 to 2 orders in a group really, really easily, and they sort of demand a response from your opponent. And if your opponent is wasting time killing jackals, they're not coming into your DZ and actually dealing with what you're putting out. So my main... Oops, yep.
Yeah, they're also like, again, there's a lot of holding in this tournament. They're also 11 points to just be like, they hold the point.
Yep.
Like, if you run out of a reason to convert the order, it's like, they go prone and hold the point.
Well, they spend their regular order just spec firing an EM grenade launcher.
I was about to say, I just realized I got a grenade launcher.
They spend that irregular order so well, and they spend the last 2 orders of a group fantastically. Like you're never gonna run into 2 orders when you have 2 Jackal Mine Layers.
And shitting orders.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm right in saying that's a relatively cheap 5-man pure core with a Thunderbolt and a Feuerback standing up.
So I decided to just sort of commit harder to the link, which was really easy to do once you sort of remove the TR bot. The other thing it has as well is it has a Doctor with a natural +1 burst medkit, as well as Doctor reroll -3. I didn't get the tack aware on Bipandra because you just don't sort of need it in what is going to be a more static link. The other thing you can do as well is if you want to get more active with this link, is another legal way to deploy it is you can deploy it as a duo of the Griffin and Bipandra and a 3-man core link of the, like, I call them the Fennec Force.
Yeah,
and that's a totally legal way to deploy active with it. The only thing I'm really not confident on in this list is the groups, because Kestrel has, you can see it, right, where you want 4 troopers between 2 groups. So you want a Jackal and one of your warband type troops in each group. And then you want your links. And then you want some other stuff. And the deployment between groups gets a little bit awkward. I'm not sure if the core wants to be in group 2. That's what I've sort of come down on as being the way to sort of do it. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, I kind of feel like you want either the Yamabushi or the Beast Hunter in group 2.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. But then that becomes a question of, am I sacrificing the Jackal being in group 2, able to spend those last couple of orders that don't get spent otherwise?
If you move the Beast Hunter into group 2, it's an irregular order. And I don't know if you're going to be burning command tokens to convert the Beast Hunter's order
but then
for a Jackal.
Then I'm playing 8-7, though.
You can put the Jackal back up, put the Beast Hunter down, and let's say the Beast Hunter just, dies as he should. Then the next turn you can spend a command token, slam the Yamabushi down, or slam the Banshee down. Whoever can utilize that second pool, but it is more of like an active management.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of ways you can sort of configure the groups in this list. I don't personally know what the best version of that is. I'd be interested to hear what people sort of think. There's definitely a universe where like group 2 max is a thing in this list.
I was going to say, I feel like max has so many orders, but I want to give those orders to like Griffin Bipandra. I chuck those 5 into the top group, and then I chuck max and the Magistrate link into the bottom group, and then you've got +1 difference there to either put the Yamabushi or the Beast Hunter.
Yeah, it's a weird one. You can sort of like go a whole bunch of ways with it.
The way I always look at like these sort of things is like, you got a static thing, you're probably not going to spend a lot of orders on like the Griffin and all that. What are those orders going to power instead? And just taking a look at the Griffin, and that team is going to survive better got more armor, got the doctor, they've got the better BS and all that sort of thing. So you can put something that really needs orders throughout all 3 turns in that group to be powered by that 5-man, whereas something that needs to have 9 orders off the bat first turn, that's the one you put with the tons of orders. I think your groups are good. I think it depends on whether you want the Griffin there, the Banshee there, or some combination thereof.
Pretty much, it's kind of an embarrassment of riches when it comes to Kestrel of like what you actually want to do. You have just so many good options. No, this is again, you're gonna see Pano Beast Hunter, Yamabushi, 2 Jackal Mine Layers, and I think Kestrel list I built. So if you don't like that, I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Pano Beast
The
Hunter,
brainworms tell me to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rocks the wood.
The brainworms told me to do it.
It's a beast hunter with an actual wage.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so this list really did my head in trying to figure out what I was going to sort of do with it. This is sort of called the trifecta of like MIM6, MSV, and Albedo 6. It's got a flexible core, Blair, Blink, the double Banshee. I wasn't really. It's for the rest in terms of the missions, so presumably for evac, firefight, and what was the last mission? I'm blanking in my head right now.
Beepong.
Capture and protect. Oh.
Yeah. I'm blanking in my head right now, sorry. So this list is Crux Knight FTO, Black Air FTO Neurocynetics, Fennec Paramedic, Fennec Forward Observer, Blink X-Visor with the Heavy Rocket Launcher, Banshee with the Submachine Gun Pulsar +1 Burst D-Charges Wild Parrot, Magistrate Chain of Command with your 2 Jackals, a Warcore with the 360 Visor. Group 2 has a Griffin Lieutenant with Bipandra Tactical Awareness, a Banshee KHD, a Yamabushi, and a plain old Mulebot. So I chatted with RunsWithChickens and basically asked what are sort of mandatory non-negotiables, because it was hurting my head to try and include everything. And I was essentially told that double Banshee was more important to them than running the Blink. So we cut the Blink. was where we sort of ended up going with it. And it felt a little bit weird to me to have the Griffin and Bipandra in Group 2 when they can sort of join the Link soup in Group 1 and you can make a whole bunch of different links out of that. And especially the Griffin being the Lieutenant as well with no NCO. Spend that all, you then have to break up the Link. So what we've done is my version of this list is the Black Air FTO, Fennec Mine Layer Thunderbolts, Fennec Forward Observer, Bipandra this time with Tactical Awareness, the Griffin HMG, Crux Knight FTO, Jackal Mine Layer, Banshee Submachine Gun. The 17.1 because we had one list and I couldn't find somewhere else to spend it. So he has a tack bow and a Panzerfaust. He got all the toys.
+1 burst tack bow.
+1 burst tack bow. And then in Group 2, we have the Magistrate Lieutenant this time, so Strategos level 1, the 2 Jackals, again with the weapon splits, Infiltrating Mine Layer Jackal, Banshee KHD, and the Beast Hunter. So what I like about the way I've sort of gone about this is Group 1 is an absolute mess of linkable troopers that you can deploy in God knows how many combinations. Almost all of them are going to be good, provided that Black Air is getting a special dice. And you have so many different ways of giving it a special dice. So you can do stuff like the Black Air, the Fennec Thunderbolt, and the Griffin. You can go, and you can give the Crux Knight +1 special die without too much trouble either, because it's a wild card, so it can join any of the links. And pretty much everything is giving a keyword as well, except for the Crux Knight and the Black Air.
I feel like the first list, I'm probably taking in Firefight more often than this.
Yeah.
This feels to me like one of those lists that you pick against certain factions, not for certain missions.
The list in general does a little bit, yeah.
I think looking at this second list, I might be a bit scared about the ARO presence. you've got the Blair, who's a great piece, but if your opponent has a solve for it, you might be in a bit of trouble. You could maybe downgrade the Ambush.
So in terms of things that actually you can sort of stick out on Arrow really comfortably, the Griffin can stick itself out on Arrow really comfortably because you give it a special dice really easily. The Crux Knight as well, even without a special dice from a linked team, still has one of his own, so he can watch a 24-inch sightline really comfortably. Outside of that, you've got the 2 Jackals in the link as well, so they can cover those 32 to 24-inch sightlines. And then, of course, you have the Jackal Mine Lays in the midfield just being a frustrating presence.
Yeah, I guess you just have to play those angles, smartly and get a good read on what tools your opponent has. You might end up having to put out, a bit more of those medium sightlines, but in doing that, kind of exposing a bit more units than you'd like to. So I think if you play it smart,
yeah,
you should be fine. Yeah.
Yep.
This very much feels like a pro level list to me because there's way more irregulars than I think I could ever handle.
Those 2 Jackals are regular.
Yeah. You've got Fire Team Master.
No, I know, but you're still there's still 3 across
3 irregulars
the armies?
and off 2
3
off the
irregular.
table units.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nick's like,
Yep.
this is a casual Monday.
It's
No, you gotta do it live. I back it.
I've handed this list and told to pimp it, and I think I've pimped it. I think my list is sweet.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot.
I think you have so many options. with it. Again, it's a little bit difficult when one of the sort of non-negotiables is 2 Banshees. It does kind of change the way you have to approach things. Kestrel as well in Firefight's kind of rough because they just have a crazy number of specialists that you just want to include in lists, unfortunately.
Yep.
But I think I sort of fall under the Firefight ethos that Tristan does, where I rarely see games of Firefight classifieds and kill things.
Well, if you're writing a list for Firefight, you have to make that decision of, am I forfeiting the specialist OP? And if you are,
Yeah,
then you don't care. I pimped a specialist list that was for Firefight. It had 7 specialists when I started. But in that case, they've just gone and said, I don't care about this 2 OP. I'd rather build a list that fits my needs and my playstyle better. And I think I can score the other 8.
Yep,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hard to missing Kestrel.
This was this list took me some fucking time. Like the starting point was I actually ended up messaging them in the big Discord and was like, hey man, where the hell did this come from? And the response I got was, I drank a 6-pack with my wife and then started writing lists.
That's awesome.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
Alrighty. We're bringing you a completely new segment we like to call Face Off. The hosts are going to go head to head to pimp your lists, and you get to decide which one's the hero and which one is zero. First up, we have...
One of us needs to get an air horn.
Myself versus Dante, the
The
absolute shitter. Are you ready, Dante? I'll give you a little short story here. I rocked up today to fix up all the slides, and I didn't realize Dante had wrote 2 lists for someone who only submitted 1. So I had to quickly write a second list.
I'm a lover. I'm a giver. I'm out here for the fans. You're lacking.
All right.
You pimp, you limp.
So we have
Vanilla
Nomads.
Can we cut Dante's mic?
Yep.
Can we kick him? Guys, can we kick him from the call?
I
we
can
get
ban
rid
him
of
from
him?
the server. I can
He's overstayed his welcome.
ban him from the server if I wanted to.
He wasn't even part of the server, the cheeky bastard. All right. We have Clint on Vanilla Nomads. So, to start off with, this was a list specifically for evac. So we have in Group 1, we have Perseus, we have Interventor Killer Hacker, we have an Interventor Hacking Device Plus, we have the Reaction Bot with a Thunderbolt, we have a HMG Intruder, we have 2 Moderators, one of which is the Lieutenant, we have a Hellcat Spitfire, we have the Puppet Master with 2 FO Puppet Bots. In Group 2, we have a Hellcat Paramedic, we have Fiddler, full-on Fiddler with 2 bots, we have 2 Flashy Boys, and we have a Chimera. Alright, Dante, tell me why this list doesn't work for evac.
All right. I mean, the first thing to note is that evac has pretty rigid requirements for what can and can't. Civivac a civilian. The first one is remotes can't do it. So that Puppet Master, they're really fast FOs, which is great. But they're actually not allowed to give the HVTs a high 5. So that's a big problem. So you're probably going to yoink that one out first. As your first yoink there.
Found that out when I tried to give Pywell some love.
Yeah, no, it's very rough. And then, of course, the Chimera can't pull anyone out because she's impetuous. Fiddler can do it, or is it that she's got the peripherals and can't? Okay.
No, the peripherals can't do it. She can.
Yeah. Perseus can do it as long as he's not frenzied activated. So if he gets in a bit of a tango and then tries to go give someone a high 5, they're like, "Oh, all that blood on your hands, man! I ain't 5 in that."
Yep.
And then,
could you imagine if one of Fiddler's bots just rolled up, trying to imagine evacuate a civilian with a jackbot? This fucking shotgun on wheels walks up, just rolls up to the. It's like, come with me.
Not only that, it's essentially a shotgun with C4 strapped to it on wheels.
Yeah.
Come with me if you want to live.
On the other side, Firefight and its panoplies have very loose rules for what can open it. So a lot of these things great for opening up 1 million panoplies.
But yeah, essentially, the units who can go from spank to bank in terms of getting people in boxes is the Hellcat Paramedic, Fiddler, and a Perseus who stayed out of trouble are your biggest go-tos in terms of getting points on the board.
Any other problems?
Oh, the orders are a massive problem. You're running a unit down, which isn't the best, but then you've got another problem where your Chimera isn't a regular, so you're playing 2 down. Then you've got another 2 models off the board, so you're 4 models down. Orders down. Now, yes, you got a Puppet Master, which is great, but we've kind of discussed the Puppet Master's not doing much during the wider list. So let's say we take the Puppet Master out, replace it with something else. If you get docked, you're 6 orders down on turn 1, which isn't going to be great.
I agree.
Well, just looking at Group 2, Hellcat's off the board. You have 4 order generating models, one of which is irregular, and 2 of those want to burn more orders than that pool has.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. You got 2 notorious spend an order pool, get into a DZ, or in this case, grab someone, get out, who need a lot more than 2.5 orders. If that pool gets docked by your opponent, it's just like, all right, no Group 2 for me.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the Pimps.
Let the battle begin.
I guess I'll start because I'm on the left. So, to start with, I thought Perseus by himself was kind of lonely. So Group 1 is a 3-man with Perseus and 2 Kulaks. I debated which Kulaks to take. I wanted to take the HRL, but ultimately I've decided Vanilla Nomads has to play the vision control game to do evac well. I don't think they have enough gunpowder to get through enough factions to make it reliable. So I've decided to go with the Killer Hacker upgrade Carbonite, who gets Cybermines and Disco Baller. And we've gone with the Kulak FO, who's going to be able to get you that order efficiency in evac to really send people to space. I really, really wanted to throw a Sally in here, but I feel like the Clint really wanted to smoke shoot with an interventor, so I've compromised, and I've taken a Krizaborak HMG. Just gives you some gunfire, gives you some power to get some stuff off the table, to clear some paths, so you don't always have to rely on your vision control. We then have Jazz and Billy. We have the Chimera, which is another nice source of Eclipse grenades. We have the Moran. I think Moran's pretty damn mandatory in Nomads, so I've taken one. We have Flash Pulse. Group 2, we have the Intruder Sniper. Dante has sold me on this the whole time. We've already got the HMG with the Kreezer, so we can take advantage of a camo MSV2 multi-sniper to neg 15 people from across the table if we want to. I've kept the Hellcat Paramedic because that's just a really nice piece. The previous list had two, like a lieutenant and a decoy, and they had 2 interventors. I've just gone, just take the interventor LT. You want to do more with your slots than having 2 moderators just to play the shell game. We have the missile bot, and then we have my secret spice, my 9 flavors, inspired by Nick. Everything I do is inspired by other people. So Morlocks can duo in vanilla Nomads. So I've taken a 6-point assault pistol, and I've taken the 12-point smoke grenade launcher, which is going to give you 2 dice out to 24 with smoke. You've got Eclipse on the Chimera, and then you've got BS13 disco balls on the Kulak.
Kristen, that is awesome. One question: what happens when you spend an irregular order in a link team?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I've done similar things to this before. You link them, and if the link doesn't work, you're like, all right, break it.
So they can not impetuous, or you can break them. That's fine. Like, the idea is you have those 4 regular orders, you can use them. Once you get the smoke down, if you want to use their orders to kind of, or if you miss a couple times, you can use that irregular order to just get 1 dice off if you need to. But it makes smoke out to 24 from your DZ way more reliable. The Morlocks don't need to run super far forward.
Yeah, I mean, if you're happy to spend that command token each time,
you don't need to spend a command token.
Well, no, because you could also do.
Oh no, it won't. The whole link team will break. That's fine.
Yeah, you can't reform a duo.
That's fine. That's fine.
That breaks.
Yeah. So my understanding is you can't actually get the 2 dice on the smoke grenade launcher by using an irregular, because it'll break the link immediately.
No, 100%.
No, so
you just use a regular
one of the regular orders from the link to do their first activation. Okay. Or one of the regular orders from the group, do their first activation, get a long-range smoke down, and then let them run free with their irregular orders.
Now this Tristan guy got a bit of pepper. That's a bit spicy.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other way, and I've used this with the monks before, is if you're able to sort of move them, you need to move them into position. You let them do all of their orders, like their irregulars and their impetuouses, and instead of converting one of their orders, right, because you've had to use their orders to reposition them, you then put them back in a link team, use a regular order, and you're back in the same spot.
You can do that, yeah.
Yeah.
But you've also got burst 2+1 or burst 2.5 smoke on Perseus as well.
Yeah.
Which is exceedingly amazing. All right, Dante.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
Well, I kept Perseus as well. I think we both recognize Perseus as a very strong piece on his own merits, but also just, really great in evac, and capture and protect, and firefight, where he's happy to move quickly, grab whatever he needs to grab, or stab whoever he needs to stab, and get out. He's got, Mim 6, great speed, a bit of resilience. He's a great piece. I didn't put him in a link team. I think that Percy really wants to be making use of his super jump, so I just left him on his own. And I think with that built-in +1 burst, he is good enough to just sort of chill on his own and make money moves. The Hellcat Paramedic, again, I think we both recognize that. It's a great piece for a lot of the same reasons that Perseus is a great piece, in terms of having that maneuverability and just, it's absolutely on it in terms of the mission. So you took the Kulak Forward Observer. I went a different direction and took the Switcher Forward Observer. for a couple reasons. The first one is having the FO in the link team is great, but if it wants to evac something, it's going to break the link when it's civ evacs. So I didn't want to run grab and goer in the link. And the switcher is also quite fast, having 6-4 movement. It's dogged as well, which is really nice.
If it
And
transforms.
after the ways, well, I mean, yeah, but I think you're pretty likely to have it be transformed within 2 orders, like an order and a half, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I dig the switcher. Whatever. But no. Then we've got the Interventor Lieutenant, which we both kept. I kept the Interventor KHD as well. I think along with the Hellcat Paramedic, it's a really nice piece of network projection. If that Hellcat, I don't know, fucks up or dies earlier, Interventor can run up, throw it a fast panda, or even Cybermask can go do an objective if you're really, really cooked.
I think
And then
I think you like need to look for a reason not to play an Interventor KHD. Like it is just like one of the best KHDs in the game, if not the best.
Yeah, and I think with Vanilla losing the Heckler Fast Panda, Rob Shepard's made a lot of really good videos on Tunguska Nomads, and has kind of really gone, look, if you want a marker state Fast Panda, the Interventor's right here, son. And I dig that as well. And then where Tristan's gone for the Kriza, who is the more reliable gun, I've taken a GoPod instead for the brownie points.
Fucking Zoomer fucking brain rot.
Yeah, and that's one thing Tristan's list definitely has over mine, is that the Kriza is a way more reliable primary gun. There's a lot of kind of very scary hot potato with who's going to be the main gun in any given turn in this list, I think. Where the GoPod's really great if it can get in the right matchup, but this list is kind of built to give you those good matchups, even though I know how much Jordan despises 2.5 burst. Then we've got the...
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, you're playing Vanilla Nomads.
I like
it's
the
fine.
GoPod.
Yeah,
I like the GoPod. It's fine.
Yeah, and then Transductor, and then I took the Kulaks as well. I think the Kulaks are, staples of the faction, probably. You've got a HRL there just as a cheap backup gun if you need it. I think me and Tristan both kind of looked at the Disco Baller and went, that's really valuable in Capture and Protect, in evac, in other missions. I don't think the hard vision control is as important, where Vanilla Nomads probably wants to use its vision control more aggressively. But I think, like Tristan also noticed, I think you definitely need the cloud cover with that. So Group 2, we've held on to the Intruder multi-sniper. I think, me and Tristan have both sort of seen the value of this guy on the table. He's a very efficient shooter as well in Group 2, so we can make good use of those orders. I took my Jazz and put it in Group 2. So this way, in either group, you have both hacking, device plus hacking, and killer hacking. So you can kind of pick whichever group you want to do those things. If you're feeling a bit scared not having that Interventor decoy, you can also just change Jazz to a second Interventor if you kind of want to play shitting my pants mode. Then we've got another Transductor, the mandatory Moran. And I will say, I do think Tristan's choice of the Combi Rifle Moran is inspired. I just didn't have the points for it. I think where there is an exclusion zone, you do want to take the Moran Combi. Then Reaction Zoned and a cheeky little Morlock to round it out.
Interesting, Dante. I would like to point out, now here's the thing that I found out when I was building my list. Is there a reason you took Jazz and a Flash Pulse bot over the Jazz and Billy combo? Because that saves you 4 points.
Yeah, no, it was more for the modularity. Like just to make, if you want to make it a quick swap from Jazz FTO to Jazz and Billy. Sorry, if you want to make the quick swap from Jazz to an Interventor, it's easy to do. But yeah, if you're committed to Jazz, if you look at Jazz and go, yeah, that's the lane I want to go down, definitely take Jazz and Billy, drop a Transductor, upgrade that Moran to that sweet, sweet Combi Rifle. And then, have some fun with those other points.
I will just tackle the allegations that I have too much vision control. I think both Hammer of Dawn and Capture and Protect really favor extreme amounts of vision control. I think you could easily play this list in Evac, Hammer of Dawn, and Capture and Protect. The less you need to interact with your opponent, the better. The fact that the Harris can spend all the orders, has the ability to kill hackers that might slow you down, has the ability to throw disco bowlers and smoke on excellent numbers, really lends to it. I think the GoPod is inspired. I will say your list does counter hacking a lot better than mine. Intervent to kill a hacker is incredible. There are just some situations where you're not going to need it, and you do already have a bunch of hackers. I don't think there's many factions in the game that are going to out-hack either of these lists. I did consider a GoPod, but I just thought it can't hold a B-pong, it can't touch a button. Sometimes it's not actually on as good numbers as a Kreisa Borak.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I think the Kreisa is the more reliable workhorse gun, absolutely. But I'm very worried by your order generation, Tristan. I don't like that at all.
Why?
Baby doesn't like 3 irregulars. Baby doesn't like 3 irregulars and 1 guy off the table. Baby would not like going first, getting docked orders. You've almost got the same problem as the original list there.
3 irregulars. 3 irregulars is fine.
Hey, you go back to Kestrel. You go back to Kestrel.
Children.
Well, here's the thing. This is for
You
evac.
are spoiled children.
If you're going first in evac, you're not picking up civs. So your turn 1 is like Chimera fuck, or Moran walk forward and you guided some shit. Like, you're not doing the mission turn 1 in evac anyway. So who gives a fuck if you get docked, Dante?
Yeah. The thing is with these
I
irregular
give a fuck,
orders,
personally. I give a fuck.
The thing with these regular orders is that they're going to be used. You don't even have to consider them as irregular orders. Like, Chimera will eat its order. Those Morlocks will eat their orders.
What's that Hellcat gonna do? He's got like 2 orders.
Dante, I actually don't think this is going to use that many command tokens, depending on if you want to buy Speedball or not. In that case, I think it's okay to move the Hellcat into Group 1 when the time comes to use it. I think a lot of games sometimes it's just going to drop and shit out a deployable repeater.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm gonna act as a bit of an audience.
Yeah, I could yell at Tristan all day.
I need an explanation on the brain rot of the intruder multi-sniper. Why? What does it do? Isn't it more expensive than the HMG as well?
It's 2 points cheaper.
Okay.
And it neg 15s pretty much everything in the game.
Why do I care about neg 15?
Because when they're neg 15, they can't hurt you.
Well, I think the idea is you can shoot an MSV 1 piece through smoke, and they're still like neg 9 or neg 12 even, depending on the gun that they have. It's just
no, it's neg 12. It's neg 12 regardless, isn't it? Because neg 6 for smoke, neg 3 for mim, neg 3 for surprise.
If they shoot back, it'll be neg 3 for smoke. And it'll
let's time out. Let's be realistic. Your white noise shooting any MSV piece. So what's good about the intruder?
That's exactly there, Dante.
Yeah, shut up. I gotta go, Pod.
No, I just don't get it.
So the intruder's got two good use cases. If you're going first, you can keep it as your reserve drop. You can see your opponent's main ARO pieces, and you can position the intruder where it can see as many of them as possible in as favorable a range band as possible. So once that intruder's down, you get smoke on it. It's usually 1 order, 1 kill, or 1 order, 1 like head down, where your opponent usually can't reasonably shoot back on any good numbers because they're usually neg 12 from surprise, mim, and smoke, or if you can outrange them as well. Like a lot of the Thunderbolt TR bots becoming very popular. You can outrange and still neg 12 that. And it's got it just gets that 1 DA shot through. It'll knock anything with 1 wound, or make any heavy infantry sit down because it's not going to weather that storm.
Right. It just 2 dice is so awkward. Like, the issue with the intruder, right, is because you can only neg 12 something. Like, being able to neg 15 them is cool, but like you realistically you only need the neg 12. That's all the value you're going to get. And the issue with the intruder, it always feels like, is like your weight of dice doesn't work enough in your favor, and they get the 1 through. I feel like it's just creating more scenarios like that for yourself, where like your 2 dice versus their 2 dice on their like BS 14 guy,
Mm.
and again, you only have 1 more dice than them. It feels like increasing the margin of error. I can understand it from the point of view of the points cost. That makes sense.
You you can
Mm.
absolutely you can
I think you
absolutely
upload.
dump
I think
the Moran 2 points and
Yeah.
make it a HMG if you want to.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's just
I
for
think you
variety
guys,
of options.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you
I
guys
think-
have been. You're in the kitchen very deep with this one, is what it feels like.
I mean, look, realistically, when I've shot at people with intruder multi-snipers, they've gone, I'm not going to shoot back on 2, I'm going to dodge on a 10 or whatever. So I think it's very rare that people
Right.
do shoot back on
But
2.
even in that situation though, right?
Mm.
Like you're shooting 2 dice versus 1 dice. So
Yeah,
if they're
yeah.
dodging, you have less chance to actually put them down.
It's also
But
just
if
bad
they're,
table
if they're
insurance,
dodging and
I
they
think.
succeed, yeah. But if they're dodging and they succeed, are they going to stand there? Probably not. They're probably going to sit down, and that's another way of solving that problem. Yes, it doesn't kill them, but you've also spent 1 order to,
Yeah.
I guess, neutralize the value of 1 arrow piece. And yes, this is like deep in the kitchen. I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
that's not true. But it's also got some value on
I
arrow
appreciate
as
the
well.
explanation on this one. I like the explanation on this one. I don't think I agree with it, but I can understand
Yeah.
the premise behind it.
Both lists
Yeah, I
can
mean,
pretty
like-
easily rectify it if you want the HMG.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes
But we're not cowards.
sometimes you rock up to a table and you're like, they have a missile launcher and I can't get within 32. Oh fuck. And you just smoke shoot it and put it on neg 12 anyway. Alright, you ready for list 2?
Amen, brother. Wait. Surely our fellow co-hosts have to say who's
Oh, the
cooked.
audience,
Water.
no, they're biased as
That's
fuck.
that's for the
All right.
comments.
All
They're
right.
biased
All right,
as
we're
fuck,
not-
Dante.
No,
Okay.
you know what? I'm gonna do it anyway.
Thank you, Jordan.
Oh shit.
Even if you give it to Tristan, thank you.
I like Tristan's list more personally.
Is it the Link Disco Ballers?
It's the Link Disco Ballers. I rate the Creaser over the GoPod, honestly, as well. I've been really impressed with a HMG with mods in N5 so far. So like any kind of mods that I can get, I'm like, ooh, I could get behind that. And the GoPod is unfortunately made of paper mache.
Also, Dante,
You know what? That's okay.
a
That's
random ass switcher that needs to spend the entire group's orders and pulls no one else with it and just seems
I'm
so mid.
sorry. Switcher cooks.
Alright,
Switcher cooks.
okay. I think the next list was kind of filling in the gaps.
Lynch Berserk, Switcher cooks. Leave me alone.
So I made this list for kind of
I
like
feel like it's
either...
gonna break. No, you know what? I'm not.
Dante, shut the fuck up.
L plus ratio plus Dante has more subscribers than us.
Oh shit, man.
Doesn't matter if I'm
My
wrong.
opinion is immediately invalidated. So I made the second list to fill in the gaps, so it's more like firefight and specific matchups. So, and like kind of Hammer of Dawn, I guess. I wanted a Sally. So, group 1, we have a Sally. We have that Hellcat Spitfire that was in the original list that we didn't want to keep. Interventor Lieutenant, I will justify this in firefight if you need me to, but I still think it's fine. Secret Spice, 0 EM mine layer, EM mine with deployable repeater. We have the Chimera, we have the Thunderbolt TR bot. We now get the Puppet Masters, we get the mine layer, and we get an AP Marksman bot and a FO bot. We have the Sally Pilot, which is a killer hacker. Group 2 is Jazz and Billy, the missile bot, a Clockmaker with a turret, and 2 Zonbots, and 2 Assault Pistol Morlock. My justification for this, for
Brother, what?
What?
This. Okay, so we said the issues with the list were you're a troop down. You're playing 3 irregulars, and you've got an order off the table.
0 doesn't have mine layer either.
No,
I think you just
mine.
misspoke.
No, mine
I think
layer.
The mine layer is the paramine.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Tristan, you've got. No.
Yes.
I
100%.
You know what? I like that last year we got in trouble for being mean at times to people's lists. I like that this year we've rectified that by just being mean to each other with these face-offs.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Keep the violence in house. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tristan, this is cooked. I'm sorry, bro. This is cooked.
So tell us what was better.
I'll tell you
I
what's
know,
better.
Hit us up, Dante.
So this is mostly a Hammer of Dawn list, but can flex into other missions if you wanted to. So first up, we've got a cheeky little Haris team of Kulak Heavy Rocket Launcher, Kulak Chain of Command, and a Mars Spider. So this is sort of your second wave moving up after your lieutenant's done the pump and dump. You've got the mandatory Moran, which... Did you even take a Moran, Tristan?
No!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
We're playing
Okay, man.
Firefight, Dante. I'm not taking
No.
a Moran.
I appreciate that Dante went, alright, let me tell you what's so much better. So we start with a Mars Spider. No, hold on.
We start with a Kestrel
No.
lieutenant.
No, the Mars Spider is great. If you want to get that Kulak from DZ to DZ, anything that's kind of, let's say a Jackal Mine Layer, the Mars Spider is the first point that can take care of that. It's a Burst 5 assault pistol, Burst 2 heavy flamethrower. It's got my favorite low fizz grenades.
But then the Jackal just lays a boarding pistol template on top of it.
Yeah, no, and it dies, and that's fine. Did the job.
That's why you have to eyeball it correctly, because the heavy flamethrower is slightly
Slightly
longer
bigger.
than the boarding pistol.
Dante's not good at measuring template.
And you know
pistols,
what's
let me
longer?
tell
You know what's longer than that? You know what's longer than that? An assault pistol.
Please continue discussing this list, Dante.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Now I want to keep laughs to a minimum for this next section.
I don't
We
think
got
that's
the
gonna happen.
no. We got the double Lunicard. That's right, fellas. Double Lunicard. I think in Capture and Protect and Hammer of Dawn, defending your DZ is very important. And I think the Lunicards do that really quite well. We're gonna have a lot of stealthy lieutenants as well, just with sneaky deaky boys or whatever the hell the seasonal rule is called. So shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, the seasonal rule is in fact now called Sneaky Deaky Boys. I'm sorry.
We're going sneaky beaky like.
Yeah. So having a repeater that can actually look at something when it's trying to sneak by it is really valuable. And I think the Lunicards, as a last line of defense against someone trying to run into your DZ, is probably the best you're going to get. You're going to have to take a dodge against the Crazy Koala, which is going to break their stealth. So if they're hackable, they get bricked. If they're not, they get spotlit. And then have to come down and face either a heavy shotgun to the face or a heavy flamethrower. And you can also do a pretty nice coordinated order between the Moran and two Lunicards just to wiggle a bit and chuck out their second Crazy Koala. So you can get a huge amount of material into the midfield with those three units. And that's where a lot of your defense lies. Then we've got the Interventor Killer Hacker, because I'm an addict, man. I just can't get away from that shit. Interventor. Yeah. Interventor, Hacking Device Plus, non-lieutenant. And then your lieutenant, the Kreezer Borak, which means Jordan has to say my list is the best now, despite double Lunicard.
No, that's true, Dante.
And then, I think me and Tristan both respect the Kreezer as a Burst 5 HMG with a mod, which is pretty cool. Also, I mean, when it gets up close, pretty lethal with that heavy pistol as well. And see, I'm happy to chuck him in a DZ and make some magic happen.
Take it.
Yeah. And then, you got the Morlock to do your shit. Intruder, X-Visor, Reaction Zond, Jazz and Billy, Morlock in the second group. Just as a very efficient group to, the Intruder, like we said before, in me and Tristan's experience, tends to be one order, one problem solved. Not necessarily killed, but solved.
I didn't even
I think
realize
with
paying for a fucking X-Visor as well.
Yeah, I've used it exactly once and it failed.
It did, it was against me.
Fucking X-Visor as well.
So Dante, I'm gonna poke some holes.
No, I'm not done. I'm not done.
Okay.
And Group 1 has 10 orders on purpose.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll just counter the fact that I actually have the Puppet Master, which means I have counterintelligence. Means I only get docked one order, which sometimes means people don't actually dock you at all. Funnily enough. So just to look,
Bro, who cares? You're already an order down.
you you already have a reactions on, you have double Lunacod, but you don't have an engine.
Nope.
Um,
This is a speedball house.
okay. What list is Clint, if he took your 2 lists, what list is he taking to firefight?
Whichever one he wants. I think probably this one.
That is the most cop-out answer I've ever heard. What list are you taking to firefight if you're running this?
We go back a slide.
No. You taking the other list? Or have you forgotten what's on it?
Yeah. No, I'll take the other list.
Take the other list?
Yeah, you've got less exposed specialists. Your LT's less exposed. You've still got enough to kind of get over the line.
Well,
you got the Chimera.
So I don't necessarily like the remotes and no engineer. I kind of took the engineer. I'm going to be honest. I didn't realize I only had 14 models, but you can easily fix that.
Oh my god, I didn't even fucking notice that.
You didn't see. You didn't even notice either.
6 times. Oh my god.
You can pull points out of my list pretty easily.
Are you going to set us on for a?
You mean the armed turret that you're paying for some reason?
The armed turret is there to help protect the interventor. The mine layer is also there to help protect the interventor against things like Shinobu.
And I'm on my knees. Do not play Tristan's list.
Hold on. My list has a Hellcat Spitfire. My list has a HRMC.
No, Hellcat Spitfire is Clint, cover your ears. Hellcat Spitfire is not it, dude. It's absolutely not.
It lands on 18s, bro.
In a Nomad faction, it is a colossal waste of Swick.
I'm also
it's a massive waste of company resources.
And the Mars Spider isn't. I think you're just salty that you're
I'm not paying 1.5 Swick. That's a separate conversation, young man. No, I'm not paying 1.5 Swick for my fucking Mars Spider, young son.
I think a Kreezer. Honestly, I think the Kreezer isn't the best lieutenant. If you're gonna you've invested your ass out on hacking, but you've taken the Kreezer as the LT.
And
bro, the Interventor is the most protected hacker in the game.
Yeah, but I don't trust him to make it from DZ to DZ.
Okay.
You could use the other list for Hammer of Dawn. Are you going DZ to DZ with your non-stealth S5 HI?
Mind you, Sneaky Deaky Boys seasonal rule. So yes, and I think this is a case where you run the Kreezer as your last turn drop.
That's true. That's true. I think running your LT in turn 1 is a mistake, or is a
yeah. I think turn 1 you send the Moran, turn 2 you send the Kulak squad, turn 3 you send the Kreezer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. That's why the Moran's there is for the turn 1 drop.
Okay.
And then he can get fucking blown up. I don't give a shit about it. Sorry, that was harsh. I quite like him.
So, I don't know if I can speak for my other 2 co-hosts here that didn't make these lists. I don't know if this is a case of which of these I like more.
You can say which one you hate less.
Yeah, I can.
Hey,
you can say which prime. You can say which prime.
I'm full.
You can
I'm
say
full
who
of
took
solid.
15. You can say who took 15 troops.
Bro,
I was about to say, I'm gonna go for the guy who actually took 15 troops.
That's cop out bullshit. That's absolute cop out bullshit.
A win by default is still a win, young blood.
Tristan,
absolute bullshit.
How does the clockmaker protect the interventor turn 0?
He doesn't need to turn 0.
That's what you said it was for. The turret was for, though.
Not necessarily
but
turn 0.
Anytime after the turret can be deployed, the interventor spends his lieutenant order at the end of the turn and goes into cyber mask.
Yeah.
Who just left?
I also.
Dante.
God damn it, Dante.
Oh, here.
Also,
thank you.
Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying,
right,
Dante's starting with the base of 2 Lunacods. I'm starting with the base of a Salamander.
Brother, I'm cooking hard.
I think I like Dante's list more because I can really easily find 1 point to make that intruder a HMG and like the list a lot more.
Hey, if you want,
my
HMG...
my Lunacods are inspired. You know what my Lunacods do? They coordinated order emitter your Salamandra. That's what they do.
I've also
I'd
got
like
puppets.
I'd like to send this dish back to the kitchen, please. It's burned.
Oh, you can just say it sucks.
All right,
No.
Dante, we're gonna have to call it a draw.
Fuck me, man.
We're gonna have to call
This
it
is
a
the
draw.
best. This is the best segment you've ever come up with, Tristan.
Oh my
I didn't come up
God.
with it, Dante. Came
Please.
up with it.
Yeah, I
Oh,
did this to
Dante.
myself. I did this to myself.
We just
Next
stole
list,
it.
please.
Let us
Next
know
chat.
let us know on the Discord in the episode discussion channel, or let us know in the comments who you think
Who's the winner?
pimped the better list.
Who's the winner?
And we need an appropriate punishment for Tristan as well. Sorry for anyone who happens to lose this engagement.
I'd like us to start talking about some serious lists written by serious Infinity players. Nick, please tell us about
Okay.
Val's list.
So we've got Tunguska lists from Val. The first list is one that he has been running for a while, really likes, is happy with, using them, plan to use it for Firefight and B-Pong, plus any unfavorable matchups. It is the Cyclone Foibach, a Salamander Pilot KHD, 2 Securitate Repeaters, a Kulak KHD. That forms a 5-person core.
Okay.
Next, we've got a Harris of Perseus multi-rifle, Hollowman missile launcher, Hollowman hacker tinbot, and round the group out with a Meteor Zond with EM carbine. Group 2, we have an Interventor hacker lieutenant with HD plus, a Vertigo Zond, a Ludicod flamethrower, a Clockmaker with 1 Zond bot, an Evo bot, and a Flash bot. So if he's happy with it and it runs for him, let's work with the other list because he has no idea what he's doing with half the points in that list.
Hey Dante, it's a Nomad list with an
I've-
engineer.
I've played against this list. It does not run for him. But he specifically asked for Nick, not me, knowing I'd be on this
Yep.
episode. So I'm gonna just keep my mouth shut.
So, the one concern I would have about this list is the number of S4 models here. But it's also Val, and I have confidence in his ability to run that many S4 models.
This
Let him cook.
Yeah.
having played this list, it can get locked down pretty hard.
It can. Yep. If Perseus and Hollowman's guys can't get off the building or behind the building where they started, the list can't move.
Mhm.
But that was
That's
pretty good
okay.
at dislodging that.
We've got, oh, it got resized and it
Oh,
didn't
no.
shift. Okay,
Oh well.
that's fine. So, the list, number 2, says currently is 0 for 5 with this list, and it's supposed to cover the other 3 missions. And currently, there's a 25-point placeholder in there that he's not quite sure what to do with. So, split the time and put the effort into this list instead of doing it into 2. Group 1 in this list, we've got Merry Problems, 2 Flash bots, and a Baggage bot, and a 25-point placeholder. Group 2, we have Interventor Lieutenant HD plus, Vertigo Zond, Clockmaker with a single Zond bot, Stempler Zond, FTO Super Jump, linked with Perseus, Spectre FTO, and a Hollowman with Pitchers. Then we have a Puppet Master with a Forward Observer and a Red Fury Puppet Bot, Denma, and a Motorized Bounty Hunter with Chain Colt. So, first problem I see with this list is the same one you talked about of previous lists. Most of these models that are specialists are also remotes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that just doesn't do evac. On top of that, if he's looking to cover Hammer of Dawn and Capture and Protect, I'm not sure how well this list defends against a top of 1 scenario play.
It doesn't. I played this list on the weekend with Tack,
Yeah.
and I rocked his shit with a Dynamo boarding shotgun.
Oh my god.
So,
Don't say that.
to solve this, Group 1, we still have Merry Problems, 2 flash bots, and the Salyut is now an Evo hacker. It's joined by a Ludicod heavy flamethrower and Den McConnelly, although after writing this, I've gone back and forth on whether I'd want Denma in group 1 or 2. Right now, I think it's group 2, but it could go back and forth. Player choice. Group 2 is Interventor Lieutenant HD+, a Vertigo Zond, a Clockmaker with 1 Zond bot. Raoul Spectre is now a Parachutist. And then we have a Deploys as a Haris of Perseus, Holoman Hacker with Tinbot, and a Cyclone Feuerbach, a Reaction Zond with Thunderbolt, and as much as I hate it, the Motorized Bounty Hunter has been reduced by 1 point to a Heavy Riot Stopper.
Ruined.
I think the Motorized Bounty Hunter is still useful in that role of it can get up there and just lock something down.
If Val knew how to use it.
Fair. The Haris of Perseus Holloman Cyclone deploys as a Haris so that it gives the Cyclone a special die on arrows. It also allows, on your first turn, the special die to get pitchers out. After that, it stays and does whatever it wants while Perseus and Holloman jump around. This shifts the specialists to models that are not remotes, while also giving multiple models that will slow or punish anyone who tries to come in top of 1 to either Hammer of Dawn or Capture and Protect.
So Nick puts a Lunicod in his list and it's cool. But when I put Lunicods in my list, suddenly I'm a psycho. Very interesting. But no, I like this change a lot. I really, my favorite change is honestly the Hollow Man pitcher to hacker. I think the original list, the hacking was very fragile. So I like having that backbone of the Hollow Man in there. I like the deploys as Haris team Cyclone, like a lot. I think that's really, really cool as well. Arrow with the Feuerbach, kind of replacing that picture from the original Hollow Man with the picture from the Cyclone. I think this is like creme de la creme shit. Classic Nick.
I think with like a Val list as a base, this was like 100% the best you could do with it, with everything you've got. If there is a universe where you find that point, dear God, that Motorized Bounty Hunter is hurting my soul.
Yeah, I scoured through this list and I could not find the point that wouldn't hurt the list more than going from Chain Cult to Heavy Riot Stopper.
It hurts me so. Like I would make like the fucking. Oh no, I'd make one of the transductors a fucking war core. Like.
Well, one other thing with the Motorized Bounty Hunter for Capture and Protect, the Motorized Bounty Hunter, depending on terrain, can be the last line of defense on Capture and Protect.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because a Heavy Riot Stopper that covers your objective can just stop the turn.
Yeah, I think this is definitely sort of like the nicest version of this list that I have seen that is including all of Val's non-negotiables.
Yeah, I was actually quite surprised because he has a list of like, these are all the things I'm looking to put in that 25-point placeholder. And if we take out all the models that don't work with the mission, you could fit the entire laundry list in.
Yep.
I feel like with the amount of structure that he's got across his list, I'm surprised that there's not space for Fiddler. Like, just taking a look at, and this is only a small change just on the entire list, that Perseus Spectre and Stempler sort of thing you've got going there. You could very easily, like, I don't think Roll gives much more to that 3-man than putting Fiddler in for the Harris.
I think Val's accidentally.
Spectre was a non-negotiable.
No, I think Val's accidentally given Nick the version where Spectre's regular and not parachuters, because I played against this list and he was a parachuter.
Okay.
Sure.
He had
But-
some slight modifications to his list last weekend.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think Fiddler would do a lot in like a Hollow Man heavy list.
So I had two versions of this list. The first list that I wrote had Fiddler in it, and it was the safer version of the list. It was more resilient to getting your specialist scalped out. However, it didn't punch as hard, and it was not as good at ARO. So
Yeah.
I decided to scrap that and went with the list that is tougher to run, but going to be a better list.
Yeah.
It is not as resilient to like alphaing your specialist out, but I think it has enough defense to prevent that from happening.
I think
Assuming
you got
it's
enough
deployed
to
correctly.
break you over the line of a very aggressive turn 1 opponent.
So the only other thing I'm slightly concerned about is Val's game plan for CNP is to put puppet bots on them, and force your opponent to deal with those. What are you putting on the beacon that isn't kind of fragile?
So there really isn't an equivalent to puppet bots to do that.
I feel like
However-
it's super defensive against unconventional things like hacking and anything hackable. But if Ivory rolls up with Liang Kai and throws a smoke grenade on it, there's
You
not
take a coin flip with Percy and hope for the best.
even then. I'm not sure.
Well, one thing you can consider, and like I said, reducing one of the transductors ons. If you reduce the transductors on to a war core, that gives you 4 points. 1 point will upgrade the bounty hunter, and 3 points will give you a second Zon bot. And the Zon bot could the second disposable Zon bot could potentially be your. I'm just gonna have this touching this so you can't pick it up in one order. But that's also gonna. You kind of have to determine how your opponent's gonna play. But then if it's a disposable Zon bot, and that's the intention, like you're not really losing anything from putting it there if your opponent just shoots it off.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the list is too centered towards grabbing rather than keeping.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not really sure how you fix that without fixing Val. I don't know. I feel like puppet bots are just so good and so versatile that they kind of got replaced with a Cyclone. Cyclone's good as well. I'd just honestly fuck you, Val. Just get rid of berry problems. Like
no, the puppet bots more got replaced by the Ludicod.
I thought that was the 25-point placeholder.
So in role, like the puppet bots being I'm going to stand back here and be defensive, and then not do the objectives that I can't do. Whereas the Ludicod gives more area control at the start of the game to layer the defenses and slow their approach into your objective.
All right.
The only other thing I could see for like an ARO-esque sort of thing is moving around points to make that Cyclone a Vostok.
I think it's there for linked pictures, if I'm honest.
It's partly there for linked pictures.
Yeah, you could reduce the Hollow Man to have the pictures and have a Vostok instead.
And then you don't have a specialist going out there. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things you can go, and then you just but I just dropped this plate.
You can go 2 or 3 different directions and completely change the list.
Yeah.
You kind of just have to decide what's more valuable.
There you go, Val. We've made your list better.
Undoubtedly.
At the very least, we've made it certain.
All right, Jacob, back to you with White Banner with a caveat.
All right, so Veronica has asked us to pimp her white banner list where she is focusing on the Korean units. So going through her list, I think I've done all right as far as sticking to those units. But her original list was a Jujak Lieutenant linked with a Hatay, BS attack guided, heavy rocket launcher +1 burst, a Huarang deactivator with the disco baller, a Sulyong forward observer, a fucking flash bot, Pangling, basic 8-point Pangling baggage bot, and a Warcore. The second group is the Jujak, Sorok 1, a Jokerbee, another flash pulse bot, Beast Hunter, Bixi, a Sulyong forward observer, and another 8-point Pangling. So I've tried to stick as much to her desire to use just the Koreans. So I did at one point put a Shang-Chi in here and had to rip him out because he's too Chinese. So, and this particular list is like sort of, this is the Hatay list.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a Hatay, we still got the Hatay, Huarang, and the Jujak Lieutenant, as well as the Flash Pole spot. So we've got the 3-man, 3-man with 2 things that count as Jujak, so you got the extra burst there. Pangling, Warcore, and here's where I changed a little bit. The Sulyong doesn't really add anything as far as pureness goes to the fire team. It's just a extra member. So I've added the Salsa Warrior. It's a forward observer, but it's supposed to be the killer hacker device.
Forward observer is probably better in this mission lineup.
Yes, and that's probably why I put it there. I like the killer hacking device because you have the ability to like re-camo, so to speak. So you can find 2 points and you're not in that sort of scenario. I take the Salsa Warrior killer hacker, but this is for like extraction and all that. The forward observer is better. Salsa Warrior is a good specialist, really good like combat with surprise attack, mimetism -6. I think it's a really good piece. I've then put in the Hundun heavy rocket launcher. I find that this guy is awesome if you manage to put it to back up the Hatay. So often people will send something really tough to fight the Hatay. If you wait until both the Hatay and your Hundun can see that one piece, your opponent has to split fire, back off, readjust, or if you're really lucky and you can hold off, they can get caught where even if they retreat, the Hundun is still seeing them. It takes a bit of discipline to keep them lined up, but once you do, I've had plenty of firefights where they've both appeared and maybe the Hundun's gone down, but a much more expensive piece has been taken out by like the Hatay or something like that. And heavy rocket launchers are just nasty anyway. Bonus also with the Salsa Warrior being forward observer and like MSV'd and surprise attack and all that is you can use forward observer to get that guided going. The next one, I took a little bit of liberties because I saw that Bixi there. I thought, let's take the less Chinese Bixi, I suppose, with Adil Crane rank. He's an incredible profile, really good gun, really good shot, really good combat, specialist. I think he's like, you lose the NCO that Bixi gave you, but I feel like he brings just so much more to the table than Bixi necessarily does. Linked with the Jujak and Huarang. So again, these are this is still a pure link, so you get the extra burst. The Jujak is just the breaker combi rifle with the firewall to give you protection to all of your heavy infantry that you've got there. These are the guys that are going to be running up. They're also linked with the Dokkaebi. Can't play White Banner without taking a Dokkaebi. Killer Hacker upgraded with Spotlight, Pitches, Submines, awesome. ness, and then haven't changed anything. The rest of her linked her group 2 flash spell spot, the Yujing Beast Hunter, so that's the one with the explosive weapon, +1 burst and +1 burst, and just the Pangling 8-point bot.
There's a couple things. I think I would put the Dokkaebi with the Heitei. I think I would downgrade the Beast Hunter to get those 2 points to upgrade the Hwarang to have more disco ballers. Even though a Dill already has disco ballers, I think I would max out my disco ballers. Because that +1 burst explosive weapons coming in use so little. But those disco ballers are going to be so massive for just 2 points.
And if
And
you
putting
are
the list-
moving, the Dokkaebi, you probably want to move the Tin Bot Jujak as well, and put the Lieutenant in Group 2. The Tin Bot's
but
the Tin
the
Oh,
Dill
Bot's
yeah,
one's
yeah,
going to be
yeah.
so aggressive. I don't know if you want to put DLC in the same spot you want to put a Dill.
Just don't be a coward.
Nah, I dig it.
Yeah, I considered like dropping the Beast Hunter, but I do have, and I think a lot of people have a bit of love affair with the Yujing Beast Hunter having such a nice melee weapon. But yeah, if you drop it, like you get 2 points, you can bump up the Hwarang and things like that. Yeah.
I'm not a massive fan of the group split either. It's a bit awkward with them kind of both having a fairly equal amount of orders. I think the Beast Hunter and a Dill probably want a little more juice in their pool. So maybe you just shift over, I don't know, the Pangling just to get an extra reg in there.
This one might actually benefit from having a Dill, Jujak, Hwarang, Dokkaebi, and the Heitei together, because the Heitei's not necessarily going to move all that much. It's more of like a really nasty ARO piece. And then you have points to put, then you have orders in the second group to feed the Salsa, the Beast Hunter. I suppose that's probably about it.
I do like a little bit of spicy salsa. I think it's
It's-
something
I think-
people don't take at all. Probably should get looked at.
I've blown up James's Salsa Warriors pretty consistently. But no, also like big hats off to Veronica running like a themed list. I think that's like really really cool.
Yeah. That's why, like, I thought a Dill being the what's he called? What's he called? The
Crane Rank?
No, the
We're talking Lord
Muslim
Jordan.
people.
Something
Sure.
you know
he
very
like-
little
it's-
about.
Is it
Because he's-
Ouija?
He's Uyghur or I'm not sure how
Yeah.
you say it, but yeah, we're on the
Uyghur?
same.
Give your
train.
best Australian
Yeah,
go.
Uyghur. Yeah.
All right.
So the next list I thought so I was allowed to use Rams obviously, and we were playing White Banner trying to be Korean or at least not Chinese as possible. So I thought, got to do Blue Wolf. So she only submitted one list. It's exactly the same as what it used to be.
She submitted 2
But
lists.
I've changed.
Yeah.
She submitted
It's a
2
different
lists,
second list.
and she gave the premise that you are allowed to take a blue
Oh, it
wolf.
is too. That's it. You're right. You are right.
You need some coffee,
Well, I
Jacob?
probably committed. Yeah, I probably committed a cardinal sin and just tried to make a Blue Wolf list. But
He doesn't
her
need a
list
coffee. He
was-
needs some extra.
So the
Group
list
2
on the
order.
left, the list on the left is completely new to you. You've never seen it before in your life.
fair. It's pretty similar. But yeah, this is the like non-Hatay list.
Yep.
So she's gone Jujak, 2 Hwarangs with Disco Ballers, the Sulyong, which will form a 4-man core. A Salsa Warrior, Mind Layer, the really good Beast Hunter, the Yujing Beast Hunter, 2 Panglings, then Bixi, Flash Bolt, Jujak, Sora Quan, a Dokkaebi, Warcore, and a guided
Missile
bot.
bot.
I clearly completely ignored that list and decided I wanted to make a Blue Wolf one.
Cool.
So mine is a Blue Wolf, 2 Long Yarn Mind Layers, a Yimao AP Spitfire linked with the Sulyong Paramedic, the Jujak Lieutenant, the Jujak engineer and the Huarang disco baller, 2 flash bolts, another Huarang disco baller with a Jujak to add in the second group to add some like special dice disco ballers to help out the to help out the Blue Wolf, a Pangling, and 1 Shaoling.
I hate
Now, if
this.
you wanted that extra, or that's mostly because I tried to restrict myself as much as possible to using the Koreans. If you wanted to
then get rid of the email. Go get your what's his name? Go get the Hate. Where's your gun over 24? What's going on?
The Hate is too expensive.
Dante, be nice. Be nice, Dante.
This is also the non-Hate. This is also the non-Hate list.
Well, I think the issue is the Hate is your only Korean long-ranged weapon. Even if you took the AP HMG, I think you could maybe look at trimming down a few Jujaks or trimming down the Solyong, trying to make room for that second big gun, or even try to make room for some like Harang Thunderbolts, which is really scraping the bottom of the petri dish. But I think you need something even to back up a long coordinated order. I think you're kind of in a lot of trouble.
You've got a Blue Wolf Panzerfaust, Dante.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Tristan, I didn't even this Tristan guy's crazy. This Tristan guy's hilarious.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess
pretty
you
good,
could do Blue Wolf Panzerfaust.
Just
Too
look,
long,
I'm
and
saying
the
there's no
Engineer
32 range
Panzerfaust.
weapons. We've got Panzerfaust, emitter, Panzerfaust, and even a Panzerfaust in group number 2 too.
You know what? This Tristan guy.
Burst for Panzerfaust.
They have done work for me before.
Okay. No, go home. Go get the Hate. You left him at the bus stop and it's raining.
Well, this is the non-Hate list. If you want a Hate, go back a slide.
One of the requests is a
One of her
non-Hate
requests
list.
was she was trying to write a list without a Hate.
Yeah, go back. Yeah, Korean list without a Hate. If you want my Hate list, go back a slide.
You could have told me that.
Yeah.
But
You can read.
Started off with it.
Yeah. No.
Well, to Dante's
what?
point,
I'm not
I
gonna-
think it might be better to swap the amount to the missile. It's cheaper. It's a longer range gun. It's already in a big fat link. I don't know if a Spitfire in a 5-man link is going to do much.
Yeah, and the email doesn't want to be chained to that link. Like he wants to be going like crazy style on that super jump.
It was more to have an engineer that could move up the board and kind of do things in case the Blue Wolf needed rescuing.
Yeah,
It's a
I don't
neat
know.
concept.
I'd maybe axe that group 2 link altogether. Look at maybe separating the group 1 link into 2 different links. Get some Harang Thunderbolts in there, just to have.
Can we maybe see if like Liang Kai can get Korean citizenship? Like,
Yeah, this is the problem. Is I'm like, I got plenty of ideas. They just involve taking Chinese units, and I can't do it.
Look, given
well,
it's a
I feel
heavy,
like you've done a.
you've done a
I
job.
feel like you've done an admirable job with the restraints you were given.
It's
honestly,
it's hard. There's not
Yeah.
many Korean units.
Yeah,
No,
Command
So,
tokens. The command tokens are going to go crazy in this one. Just
Yeah.
wait.
I think the first Hate list, right, like focusing on Koreans, looks like well at the very least on Chinese, because Adil's in there. This one obviously with the Blue Wolf, when you are saying I can't, like you can't, that's why I only took 1 Shaolin. I was like, I can't not take 1, but with like minimal Shaolins, no Liang Kai. No, just even the basic dudes, Zan Shi. You're gonna have to sort of rely on long yars.
What
and
about
flash
our girl Jing Kuo? Is she Korean?
No.
Can we get her Korean citizenship?
an extra like 10
She's
points
a war
over.
criminal.
Yeah, extra 10 points over Liang Kai.
War criminal,
Unfortunately,
more criminal.
I did play with the idea. Essentially, I think you can do it if you just. The problem is then you take her and you need to take Shaolins, and I was like, I wasn't letting myself take another Shaolin.
Okay.
They've got monks in like Tibet. That's on like the border, kinda.
Dante, what the fuck, bro?
What border?
I think
I don't know. I'm trying.
maybe
Dante,
the
what
play
the
Veronica
fuck,
I
bro?
think is maybe just like run a 5-man Jujek core with like Sora and 4 Jujek. And just
Yeah,
pretend your military
Yeah.
orders.
I
Or
think the
kind of
other
or
option
bite
is
the bullet and play a Hate in the second list as
well,
well.
One
No,
list the event.
Thank you,
but
Jordan.
specifically run a second list with a Hate HMG.
Yeah,
Mm.
I like that.
So separate them by that, and you've got your Hate that's working with your guided as well, and then you've got your list where it's just going to throw enough bullets down the table to win.
And just be
100%.
disappointed every time you run the HMG.
Oh boy,
Ah, he's alright. He's fine.
he's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
He's fine.
You
It's
know,
fine.
what's going to be really disappointing is the performance of your Hate HMG against your Blue Wolf. Sometimes that
Yeah.
man does not do shit.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, Jordan, take us away.
Oh god. Okay. All right. So, I signed up to write some Torchlight lists, and then I remember why I don't like building Torchlight lists. So these are Ryan Kershaw's. This is Ryan Kershaw's list 1. The blurb I was sort of given was he said typical Jamie Hippo hybrid list. The word typical is oddly placed. And it's designed for Hammer of Dawn, Capture, Protect, and any sort of fast, speedy mission with requiring land crossing. Jamie in that group 2 is bringing 8 orders in her 5 trooper list, allowing Hippo and crew to really flex how fast they can move. So group 1 is this small group, which is Cardinal Sin, and I'm docking you points for that. Is the Ment FTO, Fuzzbot, Hellblazer, Light Shotgun, Flaming Spear, Jamie FTO, Silver Star Tactical Awareness, and Tinbot. Then Codger Doctor, Hippolyta, Nimrod FTO, the Kata Flash Pulse, Peeler with Thunderbolt, 2 Moonrakers with Mind Layers, Vidok Surprise Attack Multi Sniper, and a Warcore.
I want. Were these a list that Ivory helped to write?
I don't want to make comments because I don't want to misrepresent what may or may not have happened to the lists
Okay.
that made their way into Ryan's hands or what came out of Ryan's brain.
Okay. Ryan, if you're listening to this and you don't want to run Jordan's list and you want to run your list, you have 2 points left. Upgrade that fucking Hellblazer, please.
So where I went with this is I made the Vidok a real boy and teamed him up with some friends so he can sort of do actual gunfighter things if you need him to. We've also given our opponent a lot to be concerned about by adding the Millicent along with those Wave Riders to kind of create the Distraction Carnifex guided plan, where if your opponent ignores it, you can punish null deployment really effectively. If your opponent overcommits into killing either the Millicent or the Wave Riders, you are keeping them from attacking Jamie or Hippolyta. And it is relatively inexpensive to sort of create that. Otherwise, we've sort of just tried to staple pieces onto the list to give some link bonuses where needed, along with giving the Camera Beast Hunter to kind of get some forward momentum going, because Torchlight can kind of struggle with that. We also did sadly remove the Thunderbolt TR bot. I don't know how I feel about that, but I think there is enough ablative nonsense going on in the list to where you will buy yourself that first turn pretty much regardless, and you do have speedballs plus the Cludger for recovery. So, my version of this list. Big group first as God intended. We have Hippolyta with the Cludger Engineer with Disco Ballers. I like that you have Smoke and Disco Ballers in the same link. I think that means you have a tool for whichever situation you come across, and it lets you be very selective about when you deploy those Disco Ballers almost exclusively when your opponent presents an MSV ARO piece. And then we are Torchlight players, eat your fucking vegetables. We've put 2 Moonraker Mind Layers in the list. And here is where it might get contentious for Ryan, because I believe he doesn't quite like the Vidok link without at least 4 people in it. So we've got the Vidok FTO multi-sniper with a Rave Rider killer hacking device, the Hellblazer, Beast Hunter, and then the Millicent. And then in Group 2, we have a duo of Jamie and a Wave Rider, this time the Oblivion hacking device. Ment FTO, another Hellblazer who pairs up with that link as well as needed, because Hellblazers or Wave Riders can form that link, which is wild. And then the Flash Pulse Bot and a Warcore. If you are uncomfortable with the idea of one thing dying and knocking the link bonuses off of the Vidoc, you can quite easily move that second Hellblazer into Group 1, and that way you have a 4-person link that requires 2 things to die to lose link bonuses.
Very nice.
So yeah, I just tried to sort of shore up a lot of like what I saw as potential like weak points in the list. I don't know if guided was the correct call, but I think it works very nicely as a stopgap distraction Carnifex potential plan B for a null deployment situation as well.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I don't know how it will go in practice.
I think maybe you could maybe afford to put the Group 2 Hellblazer back to a Thunderbolt TR bot, because I think you've got a good enough punishment for null deployment.
You can.
One thing I was...
You definitely can. That's why it's sort of there. You can either turn it into that. It can either be a Thunderbolt TR bot, or it can be the guarantee that the Vidoc won't lose a special die after one thing goes down.
Yeah, for sure. Why did you put the Killer Hacker with the Vidoc team instead of with Jamie?
Because the Killer Hacker it's to discourage people going after the Killer Hacker. So it's harder to knock the bonuses off of the link. I talked about it with Ivory. You can go either way with it, but that's just sort of what I kind of came down on liking a little bit more.
Yeah. I think you can use Jamie kind of as a tight ARO as well, kind of like we discussed with your Kestrel lists.
You definitely can.
So I don't think you're really hurting off that
Yeah.
defensive potential.
And
So
the
no, I
other
think
thing, the other reason we've got the Oblivion one paired up with Jamie is to go move pitcher, and we're not wasting movement that way as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I dig it.
Yep.
All right.
It's Kestrel. It's Torchlight. It's hard.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay, so Ryan's list 2. It's for evac, but with mission overlap as well. He brings a 4-man Hellblazer core fueling a sniper, again, because he doesn't like the idea of losing one guy and losing his special dice. And the Hellblazers are potentially going forward to kind of fulfill a like Teuton skirmisher role. And then you've got like the L traditional like Prime Lieutenant and all that sort of good stuff, along with a Strider FO as sort of a bow to evac as a mission. So where I have gone with it is...
I just want to read it out so that people who are listening and not watching.
Yep. So Ryan's is a Prime Lieutenant, Katia, Flash Pulse Bot, Fuzzbot, Ment FTO, Warcore, 360 Visor, a Wrecker with the Heavy Rocket Launcher, Kludger Engineer, 2 Hellblazers, a Wave Rider, the Vidoc FTO Multi-Sniper, 2 Moonrakers, and a Strider Forward Observer. My list is 2 Strider FOs, 2 Moonrakers, Beast Hunter, the Vidoc Multi-Sniper, Wave Rider Hellblazer, the Thunderbolt TR bot, Prime Lieutenant Lambda Engineer with a Yudbot, Kappa Hacker, Ment FTO, Raven Eye, and a Warcore. I think if you are going to say a list is for evac, you need to eat your fucking vegetables and you need to play that second forward observer. The Strider is what Torchlight has, and I think you just kind of need to eat it. That's what you're going to have to do. To facilitate that, we sadly decided that the Wrecker was less important than the Prime, so the Wrecker got shot in the back of the head and removed out of the list. Ivory really likes that Group 1 5 camo marker get fucked deployment. I like it as well, because your opponent just isn't really going to know what almost anything there is, other than like maybe being able to guess where some Moonrakers are. Again, you are sort of, like to facilitate this, we have made it so if, one guy dies in that Wave Rider Vidoc link, you do lose the special die. Skill issue, deploy good.
Well, the funny thing is, it's also, it's not 5 camo markers, 7.
Sorry, 7 camo markers because of the mines. we went with the Lambda over the Cludger just because we're not linking the Cludger with anything, so we're not really getting full value out of it, and the Lambda just saves us points. I like the Raven Eye, and I think he's cool, and I think it's good that you can sort of set up that defensive perimeter in your DZ really efficiently with him. Yeah, I like this list. I think, again, you sort of just have to eat your vegetables and play those two Striders if you're going to bring a list for evac, and unfortunately, because they're so expensive, you do kind of need to make sacrifices otherwise.
Yeah, I mean this whole thing will very much slow your opponent down. There's the number of camo markers you have coming towards like your civvies and evac. You'd take forever to get through.
The thing I would question is the engine supposed to be a doctor there for a TR bot.
There for the TR bot, there to clear states as well. For the random wound stuff, where we like speedballs in this household, I'd rather my TR bot is able to play the bouncy castle role more than some other stuff.
I mean, it's that, or you find another thing to take for 19 points.
Yep, pretty much. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% sold on it either way. I like being able to get a TR bot up repeatedly and kind of get my opponent to keep fighting the stupid TR bot.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, but it's just for the TR bot because I can't really imagine you're going to be healing any Moonrakers.
I can fucking see it.
Not in evac, I don't think, because it's so order intensive.
Yeah, well, I think it's for evac. Yeah, it's evac and then like other missions potentially, because list 1 was for Hammer of Dawn and Capture and Protect.
Yeah.
So it sort of feels like it's a mission dependent situation, and also if the Prime's isolated, it can fix that for him as well.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of, just taking a look at it, is if you were super scared about the Vidoc, you can change that to be a Vidoc Doctor.
Yeah, sure.
And then that's using up all the points.
Sure. Or you can make it a Hellblazer, another Hellblazer, basically, so you get the 4-man Vidoc link, basically. Yeah. I a little bit less sold on this list, but I think it's Torchlight eating its vegetables, playing the best lieutenant, and playing the camo markers that give it sort of time to play a game out.
Makes sense. Torchlight is fairly restrictive once you realize that
it's so restrictive.
We're playing evac. I need 2 Striders. I need 2 Moonrakers. The Beast Hunter is a solution to many problems, and the Prime is always going to be. As soon as you realize that, the rest of the list kind of is like, I don't have much options.
It's like Torchlight is a case where it's like, okay, so every list starts off with a Prime LT, a Ment FTO, 2 Moonrakers, a Beast Hunter, and you're like, whoa, that's a fair few slots already just out that I don't get to use.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's move on to... It's face-off number 2 of the night. We have Jacob versus Nick in the battle of dying combined army factions.
Woo! Onyx. So for this one, the two lists were very similar. List 1 was supposed to be more for open tables, and list 2 for dense tables. Requested to keep a fairly hacker-heavy lineup. Norkius, he's noted that the Nexus Lieutenant is there because he doesn't he knows that he is overextending with Norkius habitually, and I think it's a good move that until you can get more confident with being better at not sacrificing Norkius accidentally, to have a backup plan. In this case, using the Nexus Lieutenant. However, I will also point out that Norkius LT plus Exo COC is only 1 point more the Norkius non-LT, and a Nexus LT. The only stipulation on requirements, one of the lists has to include a Umbra Samaritan because it's going into a painting contest.
Excellent.
Hell yeah.
So list 1, we have in group 1, Norkius non-lieutenant, 2 Imitrons, a Nexus lieutenant, Kurnow, a Unidron missile launcher, an overdrawn plasma sniper, and 2 Ichadrons. In group 2, we have a base operator engineer with slave drone, Thunderbolt TR, Flashbot, Gryphops impersonator, Fracta hacker, and a Warcore. So what did you do with this?
I took open table to mean let's try and make the most frustrating AROs to deal with. So I've kept Norkius as he was. I added an M drone. I'll come back to him. It was just sort of points, and I wanted to add an extra specialist plus a repeater. It's the attack awareness one, so it's quick on the table, able to put a sort of repeater downrange, able to do some objectives that obviously aren't evacuation, but there's plenty of other missions where it comes in useful. 2 Imitrons. I've had to put one into the second group just because of the way I wanted to make the groups. 2 Ichadrons, the baggage bots. Then I wanted to make a pure 5-man Unidron list. So it's got Kurnow, who is the killer hacker with plasma rifle, white noise upgrade, and a pitcher. 2 Unidrons, one with the plasma sniper rifle, one with the M1 K1 combi rifle, sorry, and the Tinbot -3 firewall. Kept the Nexus lieutenant because I'm a bit with him. I find unless you are sure and that you're that experienced with Norkius that you can boost him up with Promethean. I agree that they can that he can be a little bit squishy, and it's a little bit easier to hide the Nexus away. And then I've got the Nexus engineer, allows you to use that LT order to shuffle things around if you need to, allows you to potentially get the Unidron up if, let's say, it goes down, your opponent's only got 3 orders, so instead of going dogged, you just go down, you get that repair straight there. In the second group, we've got the Overdron. Just wanted to keep the Overdron because he had it. Overdron's a really cool model. Bit and Kiss to help with the pitches, with both Bit and Kiss having pitches, as well as another really nasty hacking device. An R-drone, Imidron, and then just a Warcore, just to fill out the orders.
So for mine, I changed it up a fair bit more. My list 2, I didn't change as much. Started off group 1, I've got Norkius as a lieutenant. 2 Imidrons, Kurnow, a Unidron missile launcher, and a Unidron K1 combi Tinbot firewall as a Heris. The Exo chain of command with plasma carbine, and a Warcore. In group 2, got 2 Ichadrons, a Rodok Spitfire, a Rodok hacker, Dr. Worm with 2 slave drones, a Malignos killer hacker, and a TR-bot Thunderbolt. The Rodok duo gives you 1 more gun that's nice and mobile that drags its own specialist along. Plus, it gives you an anti-stealth hacker. Dr. Worm gives the list much better classified coverage. The Malignos, I went with the killer hacker over the forward observer because both asked to be more hacker heavy, but it also comes with a Dazer. And in these missions that are so order intensive, a well-placed Dazer near an objective can just lock down the game. If
slowing your opponent down, it's not a bad idea.
Well, I think if it's On a note, dasers affect you, and you can't remove them because you can't shoot them. But if, say, you go first, top of 3, you get your points scored and start dropping dasers, and now the number of orders they have to spend just starts to rack up when they don't have as many orders to spend in turn 3.
Do daces go down like perimeter weapons, or are they like mines?
They're mines.
Yeah, okay.
Some options, because if you don't want the war core, you can make Dr. Worm a base operator to change the war core back to an R drone. One thing that I liked, but I thought the firewall was better for Kurnow. If you drop one of the slave drones, you can make the second Unidron a second missile launcher and have a pure Haris with 2 missile launchers in it. Or you can do both and end up with making the second Unidron a plasma sniper. It gives the army far more ARO presence and faster specialists that will be able to get up there and hit the midfield. Plus, I really like that wild card Malignos in there, because Onyx have so many things that can deploy off the table. It's very difficult to predict what's coming, even if you know something is coming.
Yeah.
I don't think, like, so this is for open tables?
Yeah.
I did not follow the open table, closed table.
I was gonna say,
because the lists are very similar, so I did not follow the open table, closed table. My list 2 looks closer to what Jacob's list 1 came out as.
yeah. Okay. I can't really criticize you then.
So,
Got plenty of shit for my fucking sticking to Koreans.
Oh no, it's probably better to compare Jacob's list 1 with my list 2 and my list 2 with his list 1, even though Norkias ended up in my list 1 as well.
So I think if you're going to be running open table, closed table lists, I think the open table list, I would be trying to get that overdrawn HRMC in there. Norkias hackering chain of command is really good. I think that's just flat out better than the Nexus LT. The idea of having the decked out Unidron Plasma is interesting. It gets 6 cents, which means it's not getting smoke shot, which is really valuable. Potentially try and get a second Unidron ARO piece.
The one thing you could do to really lean into it is you could drop the M drone, I think, for an E drone. Yeah. If you wanted to.
Yeah, I just feel like on open tables, you want as many SWIC weapons as you can get. So if you drop the M drone and upgrade the Overdron, and then try and get a second SWIC weapon in there, or a second SWIC weapon into that link, I think it's better. If tables are really open, it gives you less options to try and shoot. Eventually, you start shooting shit with plasma rifles and bad range bands, and it's not fun.
Well, if nothing else for Jacob's list, if you drop the war core, you could upgrade the K1 Combi Unidron to a missile launcher. There are probably better ways to get 3 points than dropping the war core, but it's clean, it's quick.
I guess it depends on the missions. Like if you're running this in Capture and Protect and maybe Firefight, you don't care you might not care too much about the M drone because Norkias does a bunch of classifieds already, and Capture and Protect doesn't need any specialists at all.
Yeah. This is me mostly trying to sort of keep that like really heavy ARO long range presence.
Yeah, I'd lean into it more.
On the table. Yeah, I tried to fit in the missile launcher. I think I could have, like you said, I could have done it, but I also wanted to sort of keep the hacker, keep the specialist movings, hence M drone. Though that said, I just realized that while you lose attack aware and everything, because CA have a good E-drone, because it's still 6'4" and can move and stuff, it could be worthwhile, like swapping the M-drone for E-drone. You get that extra, you get the marksmanship potential, as well as a moving, like a fast-moving specialist. Not that the E-drone's that great.
Yeah, given that it's the combined EvoBot, it does a lot of it plays scenarios very similar to the M drone.
Yeah.
In that it's a 6'4" specialist.
You basically just give
Mhm.
and a flash pulse. And
Yeah.
attack aware, I guess, but cheaper for that. Oh my god, Jacob, mute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Alright, let's go to
Sorry.
So
let's go to
list 2 is where they originally had their required Umber Samaritan. So group 1 is an Umber Samaritan hacker, 2 Imidrons, Kernow with nanoscreen, Nexus Lieutenant, Unidron Missile Launcher, Overdron HRMC, and 2 Icadrons. And then group 2 is Base Operator Engineer with a Slave, Q-Drone Thunderbolt, Flashbot, Greif, Fracta Hacker, and Warcore. So
This is
very,
more
very,
like it.
very similar. It's basically swapping Unidron and Norkius and then using the points to bump up the Overdron to an HRMC.
So I guess I'm not really understanding how this became a close. Like, how is this more for dense tables than?
That's partly why I ignored that prompt, because I couldn't differentiate the two lists as far as how they play, because the main difference is Plasma Sniper versus HRMC, and both of those play open and closed tables basically the same.
Well, HRMC is better in both regards, really.
Yeah.
Yes, but each of them on their own play open versus closed tables.
Yeah, I guess.
Basically the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
So
how did we do?
So
Nick, you want to do your list first?
Sure. This is the one that stuck a little bit closer to the original. I've got an Umber Samaritan Lieutenant with Spitfire, 2 Imidrons, Kernow, no nanoscreen, Unidron Forward Observer, because I had a point, Unidron Missile Launcher, Base Operator Engineer with Slave Drone, and a Fracta Hacker. And then in Group 2, I have an Icadron, the Overdron HRMC, Q-Drone with Thunderbolt, Flashbot, Gryphops, and an Exo Chain of Command with Plasma Carbine. So same idea as the previous list. Instead of making a lower whip model your lieutenant, and also making a Nexus op that basically is a bench warmer the entire game, for roughly the same points. You just make the Umber or Norkius your lieutenant, get to use the higher whip. You can you've got NCOs all over the list, so that's not important. And the Exo Chain of Command, then if you need to use him as an active model, he is still an active model. The Umber Samaritan is there because it was required, and I wanted to figure out how best to use it. That is all.
Specifically the Spitfire?
No, I just decided to go with the Spitfire because the army needs more guns.
Okay. I appreciate the spice. I think Ivory's going to be yelling in the chat. Yep. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. It's not my first choice, but it needs to be in the list so that it can be in the painting competition. And that's about it.
That's fair play.
And I thought that the Spitfire was going to be a more interesting active gun as it moves up than another hacker.
Yep. All right, Jacob.
So I don't know. I feel like my list was partially, sort of done to be on a more closed table, but also with a little bit of mind of like Hammer of Dawn as well as B-Pong. So I have a Suryat HMG Tinbot -3 Lieutenant +1 order linked with Kernal and a Nexus operative, which gives him the extra burst because it's pure. We still have our Unidron link, although it's a little bit more bot heavy, with 2 K1 combi rifle, Tinbot's firewall -3. Looking at that, I'm not sure why the hell I even bothered doing that. There should be a forward observer there, but well. Unidron plasma sniper rifle, as well as just a basic Unidron with a plasma carbine, a Nexus hacker just to support any of the Tinbots, the Unidrons that go down, an Icadron and an R-drone to go on with the painting theme, as well as to have some more sort of close range in fighting. I've got 2 Umbrella Gats, one with chain of command, one with a Spitfire. If you want to take your Samaritan to the competition, just make it one of these Umbrella Gats. Then 2 Imidrons and a Warcore.
Do you lose by default because you didn't follow the prompt?
Excuse you.
I would say that
I found a creative
I didn't
solution,
go for
I think
it.
is what you're trying to say.
I think making it an Umbra Legate is probably not going to be an issue because I dare your opponent to tell you the difference between the sculpts of an Umbra Legate and an Umbra Samaritan.
His
That's true.
sweet
The
skirt.
Legates have cooler sculpts.
Yeah.
That's literally it. The Umbra Samaritan has like the ridiculous dude on a plume of smoke. That's one of the coolest sculpts in the game that no one can ever actually put on a tabletop. But in general, the Legates have better looking sculpts.
Yeah. Probably one of the best ones is the hacker. His sword and his actually, now I think about it, he is kind of dabbing.
What do you think, Dante?
No thoughts, head empty. Like Onyx is like so far outside my realm of knowledge. It's crazy. Like this, so many cool words on the screen. This is crazy.
Yeah. The one thing I was trying to, point out with my list is that the Suryat HMG, like that +1 order Suryat HMG, is a really good lieutenant for Onyx in a faction that kind of ignores the Morats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think
overdrawn HRMC. I think that's a pretty good gun.
Well,
there we go. There's a thought. I win.
Yeah. The one thing I might change in your list, the Umbra Legate chain of command. That's a really expensive chain of command. That's not really doing much else. For slightly fewer points and half a SWIC, which you have, you can make it the Hacking Device Plus.
Yeah, do that.
I was the reason I sort of did this is my idea of how to deal with Hammer of Dawn, which is to try and get the lieutenant and first round thing down straight away. And so the Suryat, Kernal, and Nexus are going to be sitting there in a corner, potentially surviving, but probably getting killed. And I wanted something else to do stuff the next turn, hence the Umbrella Gats.
And there's an idea to that. If you could find 2 points, you could upgrade it to an Umbra Samaritan hacker.
I mean, look, I'll never say no to an Umbra Samaritan hacker.
Yeah, I suppose drop one of the Unidrons a couple points and then just have the Legate Spitfire and the Samaritan hacker requirements of the list provider.
Creative solution. Plus the reason for this is obviously the mimetism with extra burst.
The only thing, so for you, Jacob, is this list for Hammer of Dawn and like anything else?
Probably Hammer of Dawn and like firefight.
I was gonna say it might be better to throw the link in and put for all your mobile shit into Group 1.
Hmm.
Just as an idea for Hammer.
Yeah. There was also a little bit of like spreading them out so that the LT orders could be used
That's
however you needed. Because you've
Is-
got NCO on both legats, you've got NCO on all of the Nexus hackers.
You could put like the Suryat in Group 2 and have him kind of like as the Group 2 tag of the list, kind of. He's just sort of chilling there, and then kind of put that stuff that wants that, big pool of orders to go jump around into Group 1 and have that be less of a big shift on the list.
Yeah, look, I mean,
Yeah.
you could probably honestly just take the Unitrons as they are. If they die, they die. And change the Nexus to like Dr. Worm or something.
If he dies, he dies.
all right. Who's the winner? Who knows? The audience does.
Let us get in the comments.
That was
Yeah.
so much more polite than me and Tristan's battle.
I knew it would be. I knew it would be.
Yeah, but you two got like personal in like the first comment. Like,
Yeah.
like you had barely started talking about the list, and Dante's just like throwing slurs out
Oh,
there.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It was happening in the group chat before 2 weeks ago. We got in there early.
This is what
You guys
happens
are
when you
almost
get kicked out of
pulling-
the Tunguska fan club.
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You guys opened your list and did like the Punisher meme. You're like, wait.
All right.
All
So
right.
Tristan, as I would say, Victoria's premier TAC list builder at this point,
Oh, poor Val.
take us through the madness of your subconscious.
The group of 1. All right. We have Corey V on tack. Brave man.
What a soul.
All right. So this first list here is for BPONG, EVAC, and CNP. So Group 1, we have a Frontovic MSP1 sniper linked with 2 line Kazakhs. One is an LT, one is not an LT. We then have a Vet Kazakh and a Frontovic paramedic in a duo. We then have a Dynamo AP Spitfire and a Dynamo paramedic in a duo. Then we round that group off with 2 Ermandinos. Group 2 is a Ratnik. It is then all of the camo. We have the Strelok FO, Strelok Mine Layer, Scout Mine Layer, another Strelok FO, and a Conductor. So, some notes. I think the group split is a bit awkward. 2 Ermandinos in Group 1. They either should be split or both of them should be in Group. The Ratnik doesn't really fit for me in BPONG, EVAC, or CNP. In CNP, it's easy to brick or blow up since it gets degraded. In BPONG, it's fine, but it's slow and doesn't really shoot that particularly well. And in EVAC, it's kind of used. So instead of that, I do think, however, in these missions, a Frontovic MSV1 sniper is kind of mandatory just to kind of curb the smoke tricks that's going to be thrown at you, so you don't auto lose the mission. So we have the Frontovic MSV1 sniper. He is now linked with Colonel Veronica, the Flash Pulse light shotgun version, and a Vet Kazakh paramedic. A line Kazakh paramedic. We then have the Vet Kazakh APHMG. We have the Frontovic paramedic T2 rifle, Dynamo Spitfire, and the boarding shotgun paramedic. We now have the Conductor in this group and a Dog Warrior. Group 2 is going to be a Total Reaction Courier with the Urigan. This is the Burst 3-1. Comes with Mine Layer. We have Antipode Handler. We have the Strelok Mine Layer and the Strelok FO paired with the Beast Hunter and a random Dino to fit it out. So if you're playing Capture and Protect, I think you're always taking a Antipode. They block it incredibly well. Even in things like B-Pong, they hold the Pong super well. They're just stupidly annoying to deal with. You're praying, like your opponent is praying that they somehow kill the handler with guided or something along those lines. I've added Veronica because I don't necessarily think in these missions people are going to go for your LT all too often. And he gets you an extra order. And if you're going for the the CMP first turn, or you're trying to do Hammer of Dawn with this, you have the counterintelligence and you have the extra order, which basically is the equivalent of not being docked. Kazakhs and Dynamo in this group, just as before. I've added a Dog Warrior because Dog Warriors as well, super resilient, 3 full wounds. They get angry, they're chain rifles. They're an excellent source of high fizz smoke. The Courier is just, with his little paired Ermendino, just dies and get back up, it dies and get back up. And he's a mine layer. I've gone a little less camo heavy. The Scout is a good shout. I do like Scouts, but you're banking that this hackable thing doesn't get to you on the basis of 1 mine, which could very easily be tripped by something else, in which case that Scout turns into a 28-point paperweight, essentially. I've added a Beast Hunter because Beast Hunters just solve so many problems. Dropping heavy flamethrower templates on people is incredible. And the Conductor is there to fill orders because it's a 7-point regular order.
Yeah, no, I like the changes quite a bit. I think it's pretty necessary to either be taking a Dog Warrior or a Beast Hunter in tech, just because you do need that close assault to solve those problems. I think having both the Beast Hunter and Ermendino in Group 2 could pose you some problems order-wise. And I don't know if you need the Ermendino, because you got quite a bit of smoke from the Dynamos and the Dog Warriors, but I mean, it's so cheap. He's so cheap. He's a good engineer.
Yeah.
I don't know how much value the Frontovic Paramedic is bringing you. I think you could probably either leave it at home, downgrade it to a 112, and put those points somewhere else, or upgrade it to a second Frontovic MSV1 multi-sniper, just as a duo.
Yep.
Otherwise, I quite like it. I'm generally not a fan of the TAC TR bots. So you could, I don't know, you could mess with some points
I
there.
would like to know your location.
I think specifically for the lineup of BPong, CMP, and evac, there are objectives to cover in your half the table. So you don't need to be swinging dick in the wind going past 24. So I do agree that they're not like an auto take kind of thing, but it's a mine for the CMP beacon. You pull the BPong beacon back towards yourself, and protect it that way. And you can protect the 2 HVTs with it in your half the table.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper than a regular courier or a regular TR bot from a regular faction. And it's more deadly as well. Yeah. It's PS6 with a template. So it's effectively it's effectively PS3.
Connects.
If it connects, it's really good.
Yeah. If it connects, it's really good. And you do have the Ermendino there to back it up.
I think you need something. If you're going to trade it, you can trade it for more camo. But sometimes more camo doesn't do anything.
I would trade it for a Vistral.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'd maybe look at trading it for something else than putting the Ermendino to a second Conductor. I think maybe also just with the groups, maybe putting the Beast Hunter into Group 1 and putting the Vet Kazakh duo into Group 2. He tends to be pretty efficient in knocking things over. But yeah, I think there's a few ways you could take this list, but I think this is a really, really strong overhaul. I back Veronica 100%. Like, I don't think people are going to be stage diving your LT. And that +1 command token makes running all those irregulars pretty manageable. Otherwise, Dynamo. I think Dynamos are pretty cracked in the lineup, so I dig it.
Dynamos are pretty great when you're throwing 3 dice for 2 mines out to 24, whatever. Like, out to 24 is like 50. So, like, it's pretty okay.
Yeah. And you're not running this in evac, right?
You can.
No, you cannot. That's a lie.
It is kind of a lie.
You can absolutely run it in evac. We can't guarantee the kind of time you're going to have if you opt to do that, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have one viable. Yeah.
I have found, and this is going back a little bit, that like Strelok, mine layer sort of camo span does help to slow down your opponent enough. You could, the front unless you really want the T2 rifle and mimetism, front of it could be just a
I think
Kazakh
it's
doctor
mostly.
because they
I
still
think it's
get the
just
kill.
mostly a special.
Yeah.
Kazakh
Yeah, I think-
doctor get you the same thing for
You
Yeah, you'd have to use
11
a
less
1-1-2,
points.
but it's close enough. Yeah.
I'm not
No,
sure.
the literal doctor.
But
Oh, no, this is a front of
it's link. It's link potential. So that Kazakh link has to be a Harris. Whereas the veteran team only has to be a duo. So you can't actually legally link a vet Kazakh and one line Kazakh. Not legal.
Well, you can link it with the 1-1-2 FTO, and that's the same outcome essentially.
Yeah, you can do that. I mean, a MIM3 T2 rifle is okay in TAC. I do get what you mean,
Yeah,
though.
no, absolutely.
You get 12 points, I think, from that. You can upgrade
Yeah.
the courier to a Vistral if you want. You can get the conductor into
Yeah, you
something
could-
a bit more useful.
Yeah, you could upgrade the courier into a Vistral. You could even turn it into like a tank hunter AP HMG or something else like that. Get a second high burst gun in the list.
Yep.
There's lots of ways you could modify this. It's a good list. Lots of ways to take it as well.
Alrighty. Go on.
Yeah. I was going to say the other thing is if you shuffle the points around, because the handler does still have that smoke grenade launcher, I've always been sort of partial to transforming the dog warriors into an extra handler with 3 antipodes.
That'd be pretty funny.
I think so. In this list, I think the antipodes are kind of defensive. The dog warrior is a bit more aggressive. Super jump is typically like a 6-4 super jump is typically faster than climbing plus. So I think the dog warrior is a bit faster as well.
Yeah,
I think the dog
obviously
warrior
has
is also
templates. You don't like.
so dog warrior is also probably better for capture and protect
Yes.
yeah, for sure.
because
free
it's got
wounds on
multiple
that
wounds, so
motherfucker.
you don't have to spend orders picking it back up after each
Yep.
antipode dies.
You just ignore. You just keep slingshotting yourself back to the DZ.
Yeah.
All right. So this next list got Val's seals of approval. The
Oh, no.
original, I know, right? It's not good news. The original is for firefight specifically. So Group 1 is a Spetsnaz HMG, Conductor, a Tank Hunter missile launcher, Vasily LT with T2 Marksman, 2 Strelok mine layers, another Conductor, Parachuter Spetsnaz, and 2 Ermendinos. Group 2 is the Vet Kazakh AP HMG, Frontovic Paramedic, 2 Barsooks, except one is non-camo and one is camo, and a Beast Hunter. I wasn't super keen. On what I was seeing. I don't like splitting camo too much. You have your Streloks in the top group, and you have your Beast Hunter in the bottom group. Your bottom group has 1 irregular order. It's basically announcing what the Beast Hunter is. That Vet Kazakh having 4.5 orders isn't going to do too much. But in the same token, you've got 2 Ermendinos into Group 1, which means your Group 1 Spetsnaz and Tank Hunters and all that kind of stuff are going to run out of steam pretty quickly. Go on.
So one issue I'm seeing are the Ermendinos just in their entirety. If this is specifically for firefight, having 2 Ermendinos is basically giving up 2 specialists.
They are,
and there's nothing there that they're repairing as engineers.
I agree. I think potentially Corey has just likes taking 2 Ermendinos. It might be habit. And they're just Fizz 14 smoke, and sometimes they pull out a HMG. But I didn't love it too much. So going over to my firefight, we have I downgraded the Frontovic to line Kazakhs to get some slots filled. So we have the Vet Kazakh ABHMG. We have a line Kazakh FO. He's there to do the classifieds of firefight to get those points, and just a regular line Kazakh. We then have a Dog Warrior. We have the AP Sniper Spetsnaz for AP in the list, long range. We have a Tank Hunter LT because we're playing firefight, and using Vasily in active He is dogged, no shock. So if he accidentally takes a wound, you've lost an elk. We've got 2 couriers this time. We have the TR and we have the Tunguska. We have a Barsuk camo there to protect your tank hunter. We have in group 2 the Spetsnaz parachutist. He is great. He can do a bunch of classifieds and shoot people in the back. We have a Visceral AP sniper. We have a Strelic mine layer, Beast hunter, a random dynamo. That's the non-specialist variant, and we have an Ermendino and a helper bot.
I think the Dynamo just chilling is pretty inspired, to be honest. I think that's cook worthy. I like that. I wonder how much. Oh, sorry, go on, Jordan.
So Tristan, it's funny that you talk about not liking splitting your camo in the previous list, but this list seems to have a lone Spetsnaz in group 1.
I'm so glad you noticed that. If you'd particularly take a look, all of your DZ bound camo is in group 1, and all of your out of DZ camo is in group 2.
So why is that important?
That's not what you said though. That's what you said. You don't like splitting camo, and I see you splitting camo.
Well, I suppose I'll add a little asterisk.
Well,
I'll add a little asterisk there.
There
I
you
don't.
go.
I don't think it's a problem like splitting DZ camo and non-DZ camo. You should be.
why don't you like splitting camo? Just to explain for the audience.
If I'm looking at, let's say, Jordan's tack list that had 7 camo markers, if there's 2 camo
You mean
markers, Torchlight, sorry, there's 2 camo markers in one group, and I can count 4 of the 5 orders on the table already. I'm like, that's a Moonraker and his mine. It makes it so much easier to kind of calculate which camo is which. Whereas if everything's in a single group, you just go, here's 6 camo markers, they're all in one group. Good luck.
Good luck.
Pretty much.
All right. So Tristan, I wonder how much value you're actually getting out of those 2 line Kazakhs. I feel like you could just drop them both and either make them just like camo conductors or conductor FTOs to get very aggressive, like a very aggressive link bonus that way.
You need an FO.
Is this doing what missions
It's
is this
for
doing?
firefight.
I don't know. I think
you
you could
can-
just kind of thug it out, to be honest, or maybe look at making that Dynamo a specialist.
Oh,
Because I don't
you,
know
you
how
need a
bad-
port observer specifically.
Yeah, for telemetry.
There's 3 or 4 or 5 classifieds that are FO specific, and obviously
Sure.
TAC doesn't get any
Yeah,
hackers.
I just feel like dragging that line Kazakh off the field is going to be a challenge. Maybe looking towards the Strelok FO, I think might be the better investment. Also, the Spetsnaz AP sniper, I understand wanting to have AP in the list. I think there's probably better ways to get AP though, because sure, it's spitting 2 dice, it's got that high ballistic skill, but I feel like if you just took like a tank hunter, like AP HMG, you're getting more dice through at the end of the day, or even just the Spetsnaz HMG. I think one way to get around that armor is just the volume of saves, and like I don't think that AP sniper is gonna really do it, especially just being AP. It doesn't spark joy for me.
It's a combination of points, and the reason it's not tank hunter is it also provides the decoy. So I use this list against.
And this is truly Val approved.
I used this list against Kirby CA on Saturday, and I won. So it is 100% tested. It works.
Kirby must have been having an off day.
Man, Kirby was having a hella off day, but that's okay. I still
Yeah. Yeah, look,
Asterisk.
Yeah, look, I'd look at like stripping back those 2 line Kazakhs to conductors, changing that Spetsnaz to something with a bit more oomph behind it, and getting a more aggressive FO who can move up the board a bit easier. But otherwise, I like the list quite a bit.
So for non-Australian people, the purpose of the second courier, mine's TAC doesn't have great defense in firefight because everyone's so far forward anyway. Ajax starts on the fucking halfway line, so mines are super valuable. And if you think, oh, the Vet Kazakh can't really get anywhere in 6 orders or whatever, you just drop some motherfucking grenades on people's heads, and I swear to God, it only needs to work half the time for people to get so fucking salty that it's amazing. It's dropping grenades out to 24 on 8s. And they're dodging at -3, so they're probably on 8s or 9s as well. So there's not very many factions in the game that can just give you a coin flip for free.
Yeah, I mean, the Spetsnaz parachutists are just... I would almost take them most of the time over the camos because they can just come in from such awkward angles and just get such good shots off.
Yep, especially in firefight.
Yeah. The only thing with firefight is if you can find 2 points, I suppose maybe with the conductor change, to make that tank hunter into a scout. Because then you can put him literally anywhere, and if you've got an awkward spot, then you can put him on the map.
Oh. Okay.
Unless scouts
I see your point.
Don't take an SWC.
Although I think that the scout takes a full SWIC to be a lieutenant.
No, it doesn't anymore.
It doesn't anymore. Okay.
I thought about it. I don't necessarily think that's super valuable because your DZ is 16 inches. If you're deploying out of 16, like how well are you going to be able to protect a building out of your DZ? And what if you're like, what if you come up against an opponent that can just dump something on your front door, like on your front lawn? I don't know. I feel like those two, like the point of the scout LT and the tank hunter LT are to sit there and do nothing. It's just there to be hard to kill.
What is my job? You exist.
You exist so I don't start in loss of lieutenant. I don't think it's a perfect list. I think TAC's really hard to build specifically for firefight. Like, it's super table dependent. You either go heavy into the guns that are kind of mediocre at shooting, or you go heavy into the weird, lots of camo, lots of off the table, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It just comes down kind of your preference. You can just dump camo everywhere and try and waste your opponent's turns.
Yeah, I think the only sort of, like, with TAC, the only sort of mission in this lineup that sort of really determines how they want to make their list is evacuation, where you probably want a bunch of Strelok FOs, because then they can just grab things and get them off the board. But beyond that, it's whatever weird tackness you actually feel comfortable with.
Yeah. Like, realistically, if you can delay your opponent doing evac enough, you don't have to do evac as much either. So
yeah,
that's true.
Anyway, any more insults to hurl at me, Dante, before we move on?
I mean, I was thinking, look, you could keep the line Kazakh FO and chuck 2 conductors on the end of that to get the bonus that way. Kind of have those 2 conductors escort the monkeys up the field.
Love the conductors.
I fucking love the conductors, man.
So how is that going to work, Dante? You're removing 1 slot to add 2 slots.
Yeah, you just get rid of some bullshit you figure it out. Not my job. Get rid of the ball sack. Easy.
Okay.
You got some more points to play with.
The only other thing I wish I could have is Pavel. Pavel is another unit that kind of solves a shitload of problems. But he's very expensive, and he's a specialist. All right. Moving on to... I think someone's been in the chat waiting for this one.
Oh! I haven't figured out how to see the chat, so if Ivory's screaming, you guys can tell me, or you can choose not to tell me, and that'll be fine.
It looks like the reaction to seeing White Banner was "Ew, Pavel," but that might have been slightly delayed.
That sounds about right for Ivory.
All right, so I got Ivory's lists, and I think the frustration might be more of a systematic issue with the lists. So list 1 kind of in the Hey, no giggles yet. No, it's okay. I love you. List 1 was kind of, okay, this is kind of a modified list I took to BCB. It wants to do everything except B-Pong. So this list is going to do everything except B-Pong. And then list 2 was, this is specifically an evac list. So we've got a list to do everything except B-Pong, and a list to do evac. And I think Tristan's noticed that that's not quite a mission split. So what I've done...
Ivory's corrected in the chat. It's everything except evac for the first list.
I've
Unless
got in the notes, it does everything except B-Pong. So I don't know if you
what?
typoed
Hold
that or
on.
something.
I'll go to the show notes.
In the show notes, it says everything but
except
evac,
B-Pong.
or but B-Pong.
It does. It says everything except B-Pong. Ivory, you are a liar.
A liar, not only a liar, but a fraud.
To be fair, Ivory submitted about 4 sets
Banned
of
from the
lists, so I
server.
think they might have got a bit confused.
Yeah.
No,
Anyway,
Ivory's fault.
so what I've done is I've retooled these lists mainly to handle a list split. So the list on the left might look nothing like the list on the right, but there is a reason for that. So this list is...
This is so good.
Yeah, okay, so we'll run through Ivory's list. Oh man, yeah, this is just a mess. It's my fault. I'm not blaming Ivory. Also,
No,
shout
blame
out
Ivory.
as Neurosynetics on YouTube just launched his channel, did a great little tier list with Jordan, as well as another player.
Did Infinity the Dante just come onto Loss of Lieutenant and shout out Neurosynetics?
I know.
Absolutely, I'm doing it because you won't. You rat bastard. You gatekeeping.
We made one monster
Hey,
already.
Dante,
without
maybe
making
talk
a
about the
second.
list.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, Jordan.
Oh,
wait,
I
I have my
already name
camera.
dropped their last episode's title. How many times so far?
Whatever. Okay, so
Fucking hell.
looking at Ivory's list, Group 1, we've got the
Dante,
Hatay.
where's your camera, you dickhead?
I don't fucking know. I kicked it. I think I kicked it.
Turn it back on.
Hold on. I'm gonna fiddle with some USB ports till something happens.
Oh my god.
We freaking invited you, Dante. What are you
I'm gonna
doing?
read out
That
Ivory's
wasn't
list.
that wasn't my mistake, was it?
Yeah, Tristan,
Anyway.
go ahead and read out Ivory's list while
Alright,
Dante's
Group 1 is a
fixing his camera.
Hatay, Dokkaebi, Jujak, and Huarang in a 4-man link. Then we
wow.
have Liang Kai and a Shaolin. We have a Zhanshi Hacker. We have a Thunderbolt TR bot. We have a Pangolin. Group 2 is Dao Fei LT AP Spitfire, a Tiger Soldier Hacker, 2 Gudan Zappers, a Mech Engineer with a Yao Zhao, and another Shaolin.
Very nice. So this is a fine white banner list. It's, you got the classic core. Clearly it worked for Ivory taking it to BCB. But I had
Border Bash.
Yeah, too many B's. We gotta make new tournament names. But I was concerned in Hammer of Dawn about who's actually going to be planting the beacons here. We've got the Tiger Soldier who's fine, but he's both squishy and hackable. So that's two, and can never get stealth as well from Sneaky Deaky Boys.
And squishy and hackable translates to submissive and breedable, as we all know.
That's true. And speaking of submissive and breedable, your other option's the Dao Fei. Who's fine. He can get in there and breed your opponent's deployment zone with a beacon. Man, I've never seen Nick frown so bad. Sorry.
So Nick is so disappointed in you and I right now, Dante.
Yeah, but no, I think you've got an issue in Hammer of Dawn with putting aces in places. I think the Dao Fei you'd want to do that later in the game just because you don't want to chuck him too quickly. But what I've done is I've more retooled this first list here to focus on Firefight and B-Pong. So list 1 is Firefight and B-Pong, then list 2 is going to be your Hammer of Dawn, your evac, your capture and protect. So for Firefight and B-Pong, you've got the Thunderbolt TR bot doing Thunderbolt things. Gudan, who are they're just fantastic, especially in a mission like this. And I've got a Haris team of Adil Crane Rank, Liang Kai, and a Shaolin Monk. Liang Kai makes the Shaolin regular, which is groovy, and then they're both giving Adil a burst bonus for his AP Spitfire and Disco Baller. And no matter who wants to make the first move, you're going to get a lot of incidental movement off of either, Liang Kai doing his short skill jump can make the rest of the link do the whole order jump. You're getting a lot of free movement out of that, no matter who's making the first move there. Then you've got Queen Gao. White Banner has a very classic lieutenant problem, and I think Queen Gao is a pretty good solve for it as a HI who doesn't suffer for being a HI. He's a fairly good, fairly solid heavy machine gun with a template to defend himself. You could also just switch this back to the Dafei if you want to find some points, and I think you probably will.
And if you have Dawn into like a Nomads or a ton of hacking, he's I think it's like completely immune to any hacking other than Spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he can't be isolated.
And immune to immobilize B or whatever it is.
Yeah. So realistically, there's not much that is going to be able to brick down Queen Gao, but you can change it back to the Dafei. I understand that's your main squeeze, and then just a regular a free range monk to round out Group 1. So Group 1, it's going to be moving forward under the covering fire of Queen Gao and your Group 2 Hete to capture and stick on those objectives in B-Pong. Or it's going to be just, pushing for the max. Gudon's being really good, of course, in a mission where you get an extended deployment zone, like Firefight. Then Group 2, I've just kind of ported the classic White Banner link into Group 2. I think it has enough orders there to generally do what it wants to do. Because I think you really want to be powering out some of the pieces in Group 1. And then, just to round it out, you got the Pangolin to reload your baggage for your pitchers and your disco balls. And then a second, just free-range shell in case you need some smoke support from Group 2. So this is more veering into just going into it raw with... and to be clear, Adil, Li, and Kai, and the Shaolin, they've all got stealth, or can all get stealth, which is pretty spicy just to run into an opponent's deployment zone with that. So this is more geared towards Firefight and B-Pong. So I understand it's a very significant departure from your kind of original list setup and split, but this is kind of one half of a 2-list solution.
I find it
Questions,
amazing.
comments, no
yelling.
yelling.
It amazing that you've turned a Dao Fei into a Dylan Queen Gao.
I don't know whether those are happy laughs or jeering laughs, and I'm going to choose to believe they're happy.
I just look at each list and they look like the same, except somehow you've turned a 50-point Dao Fei and a 29-point Tiger Soldier into a 50-point Adil and fucking Guiyang Gao. Like, what the fuck?
It's all in the monks, man. It's all in the monks. That's where all your savings are.
Considering like how you get a little less value out of camouflage in some of these missions, because you pick up a something or other, you can't go into camouflage anymore. I think it's a decent swap. A deal is just like an awesome soup of abilities, and Kui Gao is great for Hammer of Dawn because he just walks up and says, "Fuck you, I've got BS -3 and your hacking means nothing to me."
Yeah, he's a very good solo gun as well. Like, he doesn't need the support of a link. He's a good reserve drop if you're going first as well, just to slap him where you want that bad boy to go. So or alternatively, you can spend a command token, reserve Adil and Li and Kai, put 2 Shaolin monks in positions where you vaguely might want them to be, and then pick your main vector.
Is there anything to pick the Thunderbolt back up, or the TR bot back up once it...
Nope.
Okay.
No, there is not. I had
Speedball and have a Shaolin just run over there and do it.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the classic choice of Jujak Tinbot or Jujak Engineer, and I think Jujak Tinbot tends to edge out. But look, I think when that TR bot's down, it's down. And I'm not. Yeah, I can't do much about that.
Oh, like
you can take
Jujak Tinbot is Jujak Tinbot is the right answer if there's a Dokkaebi.
Yeah.
I mean, I had Denma repair Stigma my last game, so anything's possible. Speedballs.
Yeah.
I mean, good education budget proves your society.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's pair this half with its whole.
Thank you, Tristan. All right, so this second group, second list was specifically for evac.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 Gudons, you've got the Fuck You White Banner Corps, you've got the Dao Fei Spec Op AP Spitty, Li and Kai Shaolin Monk. Then group 2, you've got 2 Zanshi. Sorry, I should save my laughter for later. A Pangolin, Dixie, Beast Hunter, and the Shaolin Monk, and that is the special spicy using Beast Hunter. So my biggest issues with this list were basically the dead slots with the Zhanchi. I just think you're above that in White Banner.
100%.
Yeah, like, look, I get it if you want to glue, like, Captain Q on the end of that and get a burst bonus, but just chilling like moderators, like...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you're not them. And then the defense felt a bit lacking. I mean, you've got the 2 Gudon, which is great. And then it's like, do you want to put up your Hete? That's scary. Suddenly they've put down an overdrawn HRMC and you're like...
I'm hearing a lot of good stuff out of Dante right now, boys. I don't know.
All I need to do is play a faction I don't play, and then boom, we're off to the races. And I think basically Bixie is carrying this list on her fucking back.
Yeah.
And she's in group 2. So I don't really know what's going on there. so
sorry, Ivory.
No, so I'm just
fantastic.
I try to be. I'm so nice in person. You put me on the internet, I'm just an asshole. That's my problem. So
find out where he lives, so he doesn't
Hey,
feel so
Dante,
safe.
how have you improved Ivory's lists? How have you improved Ivory's list, Dante?
So moving over to my list over here, we've kept the Gudon. I think everyone we both agree that they're pretty necessary for what we want to be doing in evac and capture and protect. We've got Li and Kai, 2 Shaolin monks, Beast Hunter. Then we've got a duo of Yi Mao, who I think are low-key kind of slept on. The Yi Mao AP Spitfire, it's that kind of medium-range gun that the Dao Fei is. Incredibly fast, has an MSV1, where Mimetism can really punish you playing White Banner. Because you don't have a lot of visors.
No,
so
absolutely.
the Yi Mao's... and it, like, in a pinch, the Yi Mao can smoke shoot, and it's like mid to bad, but it beats getting like nothing done. But the Yi Mao can get up there, forward observers there, and yes, at that point the fire team's going to break for the Yi Mao to start civivacking. But I think at that point you don't give a shit. And you've blown up all your opponent's ARO pieces, and the Yi Mao can happily hippity hoppy back to an evac zone. The Yi Mao, it's not hackable, which is really nice. It was a big problem I had with your previous list. I've also picked up the Tiger Soldier Paramedic as opposed to the hacker. I'm a known Tiger Soldier simp from White Company. I think they're fantastic.
I just think was shit.
I said the hacker was shit. Now a Tiger Soldier Paramedic. No, actually, no. Actually, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth in my house. I had a Tiger Soldier hacker in one of my winning arc lists.
I'm gonna record the tape.
I clubbed so many seals with that Tiger Soldier hacker in my casual tournament. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Stop looking so menacingly into your camera.
Who's looking menacingly?
Dante. He was looking into the camera.
No, Dante. I need to hear more. I need to hear more about the improvements you've made. I need to hear about Group 2.
I'm sorry, I won't. I'll mute myself.
So Group 2, you've got the Hete, who can just chill on ARO now if he wants to, because we've picked up a Shang-Chi AP HMG Tinbot -6 just for that second high burst gun in the list. So you can now put that Hete on ARO if you want to. You don't have to fear too much about losing it. And the link is formed around the Shang-Chi AP HMG, which is pretty funny. And then you're getting your burst bonus from 2 Harang Light Shotgun Panzerfaust Disco Ballers. And, like, I mean, these guys are just goats. I love them. And then the Doc just to round it out. So you've still got the Tinbot from the Shang-Chi. So you're kind of compressing the Jujak Tinbot slot with the Shang-Chi gun slot. And then just rounding it out with another free range monk.
100%.
A doc for those listening is a dockerby.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
He's got a fat doc.
Not a doc.
Yeah, he's got a fat doc.
Dockerby.
Just a fat doc.
And this is going to cover you for evac, capture and protect, and that other one.
Yeah.
For anyone,
So-
for anyone listening,
Thank you,
the original provider of these lists, Zephyr, is very, very opposed to the changes Dante has presented. To say the very least.
That's why we're laughing. It hasn't stopped. Like the patron chat, the patron chat channel has just been lit up for the last like 15 minutes. I think.
I'm so glad I can't see that.
It's been fucking magical.
I'm half tempted to deafen him for 5 minutes just so he can have a bit of a breather.
No, he's fine.
Going
They're fine.
nuts.
They're fine.
Yeah.
Is it just the Yimao and the Tiger Soldier paramedic that are doing most of the evacuing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the Shangjay
I'm-
APHMG a specialist? Do they have specialist?
No.
No.
Must be
Dockerby's the only
That
specialist there.
So you're running an evac list with 3 specialists?
Sure am.
Okay.
I find most
I-
evac lists, most evac games I've played, and this might just be me being shit at the game, are pretty low scoring. So if you can
Yep.
just dunk 1 or 2 little lads, like I don't think you actually need to be running a super high specialist count for evac. I think if you
Okay.
just have the right piece in the right place and just get a couple big old dunks, I think you're probably pretty okay.
So my strategy for evac is I can't score on first turn because of the mission. So where are my opponent's specialists, and how many of them can I kill before they can score?
Tiger Soldier's in the air, you can't touch it.
Fair, yeah.
I
And yeah, we've got the
There's the Tiger
Lian
Soldier
Kai.
in the fucking sky, bitch.
Yeah, go get him.
I
But
would-
and yeah, then you got Lian Kai, the Harry's there just as the punish mechanism.
Well,
For turn 1.
also remember this for Dante isn't just evac. It's evac, capture and protect, and what was the other one?
Hammer of Dawn.
Hammer of
was the
Dawn.
last
Yeah.
one. You could
Cool.
reasonably run either list in Hammer of Dawn, but this could
True.
do it quite well.
I would find a way to fit in a Social Warrior just because it's a little cheaper as an FO than a Gudan. Or
What?
yeah,
No,
or
the
or,
Gudan's not
sorry,
here to extract.
sorry,
people.
I'm wrong one. Guilang.
You don't want a Guilang, Jacob.
Why not?
So
It's so expensive. and
my
they're
honest
so-
opinions
It's
is
just,
I
it's just
think-
as expensive as a Tiger Soldier.
I think the 2 Mao just need to go in the bin.
Yeah, okay.
They're not
I mean,
doing
you can
much.
chuck them both out, get Bixie back,
You have
and then plug a slot.
you have 2 sets of disco ballers that are linked, and you have smoke, so there shouldn't be a problem avoiding that one MSV piece or that one super high min piece. And I think you need to put Bishi back in. I think she's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
essential for evac. She's almost
Yeah, I guess.
you almost have to
Yeah,
take her.
I guess as a Nomad player, I'm like very hacking noided.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's absolutely something you could do, and something I wouldn't fault you for.
And then I wouldn't know what to do with the rest of it.
Which means
There's-
it's perfect. Thank you, Tristan.
I think you have potentially flown a little too close to the sun on this one, Dante.
Careful, Licorice.
Just
with with fire teams and picking up civvies, that destroys the fire team, doesn't it? It doesn't
No, they just
reforge
can't- they
automatically.
can't- Pick it up.
I think you have to break the fire team first.
yeah, you have to
Yeah.
break
Cannot
it first.
declare it if you're in a fire team.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, there's something for maybe looking at instead of Lian Kai taking Jin Kuo just because she's a specialist.
Nah,
So you
Lian Kai's there just to kill shit. Like, he's-
I
we're not
would
about
agree
that
with
life.
you, Jacob, but I know Ivory, and Ivory is never not taking Lian Kai.
No, I've seen
No.
some. I've seen in as part of like the Ivory death spiral that's been going on the last like 2 weeks. I have seen some Lian Kai-less lists.
Damn.
Have they been run though? Have they been run?
No,
Can we get a
definitely
welfare
not.
check on Ivory?
No.
All right, that was
Wow, that has been the single most entertaining 20 minutes of the entire episode. I think that was so
Right.
good.
For all of those who
And anyone-
made it to hour 3, thank you very much. We've come up to our final list after so long.
These
Uh,
episodes are so big.
Jacob, you want to take us?
I
through?
don't even know if it's worth it. That was too much. I can't believe we're ending on that on my list instead of that. All right, so we got a Tohaa list in from Jassop. And that's what I'm trying to, and it has a Gorgos in it. So that's what I'm trying to focus on, is keeping that Gorgos in and trying to make the list better for something. Because in doing this, I've discovered or rediscovered how difficult it is to fucking fit one of these guys, a Gorgos, into a Tohaa list. It's a pain and a half. So the original list was a diplomatic delegate, specialist operative, which is just the irregular with what's
Best
it called?
walker in the game.
Yeah, it's easily like the only walker with a lethal weapon.
Walker on beans.
Yep, the Gorgos with an AP HMG Flamming Spear Pulsar with the Chaxa B peripheral. I think that's the other one. You can only take one Gorgos. 2 Chaxa Auxilia FTOs, 2 Rexes, one with a Thunderbolt, one with the boarding shotgun and contender, a Kriegel, Hatail, which is the killer hacker in Tohaa, so the named character with an AP rifle, ECM carbine, nanopulsar, flash pulse decharges, a Taquiel lieutenant with an extra order, with a combi rifle, nano pulsar, with ferroware endgame and ferroware mirrorball, a Cowrie sentinel with a sniper and EM mines. The Cowries are one of the it's like one of the S1 models with Sixth Sense and MSV 1, I think. Probably wrong
we
on the
don't
MSV.
know, Jacob.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
Kimmertail, which is the same as Dr. Worm, so a doctor and engineer. Chuck's a Servant, which is the same as the Helper bots, except significantly worse because they're S2. And I think they're 4-4. Keltar Specialist with Symbio Bomb and Symbio Mate, a Sacriel K1 Sniper, a Cowrie Sentinel, Mine Layer, and a Motorized Bounty Hunter.
No wonder no one understands Tohaa, because you said Sacriel and it's Sukiel.
I did. It's Sukiel. Yeah, that's half of the advantage of Tohaa. You say the entire list, they're like, okay, so I didn't understand any of those names, and then you explain them, and they're like, they don't remember.
Cool.
What's the goal of this list?
To keep the Gorgos in, and what I was trying to do was trying to maybe make something that was a little bit more friendly to push the specialists around, because at the moment
that's what I was getting at. It's for firefight.
Oh yeah, sorry, it is for firefight. Yes. So I kept the Gorgos. I've got a Sacriel HMG linked with a suit. No, I do have a I do also have a Sacriel. I have a Sukiel HMG, a Sacriel Lieutenant, and a Combatail.
Dr. Worm.
Yeah, Dr. Worm. The reason I've done this is to have sort of a gun linked with the Combatail to come out and potentially like touch the Gorgos or do any sort of objectives that you have, along with the Sacriel, who is relatively tough and relatively cheap. The reason I got rid of the Tacriel +1 order is the end game is relatively low damage, and now is disposable 2 on a Whip 13 lieutenant, who when they used to have a Spitfire was worth it. Now that they've only got a combi rifle and vial rifle, and they're fucking expensive to take them, like 39 to like 43 points, unless you've got NCO, which is only on one model at Tohaa. Just fucking ignore it. I then got 2 baggage bots, essentially the Chaxa Auxilias and the Diplomat, And the 2 Rex, I hadn't even looked at this fire team before, but it's actually not as like more interesting than I thought. So the Rexes are the other S1s. With the Thunderbolt, you get the extra burst. It's super cheap.
Sure.
It's a +1 burst
The-
Thunderbolt, and then it gets an SD dice
Yeah.
from the Rex.
Yeah. Then the second group is I'll get to the first one, the first unit there later, but it's the Sakwheel K1 sniper rifle
Sukiel.
linked. Sukiel K1 sniper rifle linked with the 2 Keltar specialists with 2 more Chaksa FTOs.
Fucking chucks.
I then also have a Key Rail Preceptor. So these are the guys that have like little like alien dogs with them. The reason I got this one is A, it gives you some smoke. B, it gives you some close combat ability with the Sudra Symbio Beast. And it also allows you to have both of them walk up and get onto a panoply at once. So you can get like 2 extracts with him. He's 6'4" with super jump. Able to get up the board real quick, get those panoplies open, right? And also, hold any points you might need to use him for.
Oh, they're 6'4" with super jump 3.
Yeah, and they also have the symbio armor, so you can give them a symbiomate. That's it. It was super difficult to keep the Gorgos in there because there is you want to take a lot of things that are really expensive, and it's sort of with the Gorgos there, it just takes up so much points.
So the only argument I can make, because I know nothing, does the Sukiel HMG need to be a HMG? Because you've got a Gorgos.
I
Can you make
think
it
it's
something
worth
else?
You can make it potentially a Draal, which is it'd have an AP marksman rifle, but it would have mimetism -6, so able to deal with something that maybe is a good shot but doesn't have the mimetism.
I'm thinking like that dumb bullshit. What is her name? Janstar.
Yeah, Janstar or a Greif.
I think that
Yeah.
would be really good for firefight. And they're about the same point. I don't think you need 2 HMGs. Your Tohaa.
I've always sort of wanted 2 guns.
I think if you're committing to taking a tag, you have to let the tag do its job.
Yeah,
The
that's
redundancy
true.
of it,
I'm just,
redundancy is kind of built into it already.
Yeah, I suppose I'm just so afraid. Like I haven't, like the Gorgos has been bad for so long that I haven't had the hugest amount of experience. I'm just afraid that it'll die.
Probably will.
It was so annoying. It was so annoying because I was like, I'm gonna lean into taking, like, they've got these like pioneers, these like pioneer engineer things, and then realize, oh, they can't repair the Gorgos because it's fucking vitality.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's a 4 wound tag that transmutes on its last wound to become an S2. Like it, and at that, it's a 7/9. Like I don't think it's any less survivable than equivalent tags.
I've also just realized, I don't know why I didn't think about it before, because it's vitality, you can't heal it, can you, until it's dead?
Nope.
Which means you can't get it back into tag form.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so I absolutely fucking take this back. Don't even bother with the coma tail. Just fucking take something else. The Gorgos dies, it dies.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I'm glad
You are absolutely speedballing this thing.
you can't speedball any works.
So you can only speedball it when it's
Oh, you
unconscious.
can only speedball them as they're dead.
That's
Fuck
the
me,
note.
all right.
That's the note we're ending this one on. Just don't take the Gorgos, boys.
The one good thing about it is it becomes an S2 and it's still got the big fuck off tag gun.
It does.
Yep, absolutely it does.
And gains specialist operative.
Well,
Yes, which is
Little
great for
iguana
firefight.
ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen, I
fuck.
hope you enjoyed us going through half of the Pimp My List BCB 2025 edition lists. We will be back a week from now, along with Infinity the Dante once again, although I'm starting to question that decision.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
All right.
I'm not. This was the best decision we made.
I've been Tristan.
I've been Nick.
I've been Jacob.
Come on, Dante.
I've been annoying.
And I have been Jordan.
Good
We'll
night,
see you
everybody.
next week.